Everything's been falling apart since the party, Toshi. Everything's been so quiet. I suppose I can't really blame them. Artemis's death was a tragedy, and just when everything felt like it was picking back up, Scarlet Soiree happens. Trust Lilith to cause problems, I suppose. Though I can't exactly blame her for her anger. In another time, perhaps I would have done the same. I probably would have done a lot more. No point thinking of it now. There's just pieces left. Everyone is just so scattered at the moment. And with the confirmation that people have been going missing, all the things Karma has been investigating, talking to Jelly with, our time is running out. That is most certain. Till then, we have a few loose ends to tie up. Or, at the very least, people to help. Protect, if we can. Whatever I can do now. It can never be enough, but it seems it's the best I can do. Let's hope that Rose is home. Not that I've had much luck with many people recently. Not that I've checked many people. But the ones I have, well, seems they've all got their own things to focus on. Let's see, I don't think I've properly been here yet. Is this the front or down there? Rose?
Hello?
Hello? I can't make my way around this place. Oh, there you are.
Oh! Hi. Hi, dear.
Hello there. It's been quite a while. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm as alright as I can be. I apologize for showing up unannounced. Well, felt the need to
No,
check in, I guess.
yeah. No, it's okay. I mean, it's alright. You felt the need to check in, though?
Well, yes, well, everyone's been distant recently, to put lightly. People seem to have been, going missing, for lack of a better term.
Wait, people have been going missing?
It would seem so, and given the Valley's current situation, you can truly imagine why that is quite the cause for concern.
Oh, yeah, that is really concerning, actually.
Yeah, but
That's a little nerve-wracking.
yeah, but I'm glad to see you're doing all right. How
Yeah.
have you been since the whole party fiasco?
Um, I mean, doing my best, I guess. It was quite an interesting party, to say the least.
When the lift's involved, I suppose everything becomes a bit more interesting.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I don't know Lilith too well, but sure made it interesting.
I suppose the best way to put it is very um, tricksy and perhaps a bit vindictive when it comes to it.
Oh,
Um, it was fun while it lasted, but
yeah.
quite a way
It
to
actually
end it.
was pretty fun. Yeah. Went off with a bang, I guess.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't have run off as quickly as I did, but well, no point looking back on the past
Yeah,
in most
it's okay.
cases.
Yeah.
Have you seen Lyd recently? I recommended a book to her, and I was wondering if it'd be at any help.
Oh, you recommended a book to her?
Yes, well, they were quite curious over what they might be from what it seemed.
Uh,
I had something I thought could help that wasn't public in the library. I saw they took it from my office, so
oh, um,
I haven't seen her,
well,
so I'm not quite sure if it was useful, but
uh, I think it was. I mean, we spoke, but it was a while ago now, but I haven't seen her since.
yes, well, I suppose if you do check on her for me, I guess.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Yeah. Can't help
I
but
will.
just worry, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always worried. I mean, it's not uncommon for Lyd to just run off anyway. She says she likes to go and explore, I guess, or whatever she does.
Well, that is very fair. Dangerous, but fair. As long as they find her way back, then that's all that matters.
Yeah, yeah. And she always manages to find her way back here somehow.
Yeah. Oh, right, I forgot. I brought these for you.
Oh,
I went on a
oh,
walk, I guess, to clear my head on the way over, and, well, buttercups are my favourite.
oh. These are so pretty. Thank you so much.
It's no
Oh,
problem. I know you like your flowers.
I do quite enjoy flowers.
It'd be quite
Just a little
ironic if you
bit.
didn't, considering your name.
That is true, but they're just so beautiful. How can you not love flowers?
Another fitting reason why you're named after one.
Ah, that is true.
Oh,
Oh, it's meant
not
to be.
to
Uh-huh.
dampen the mood, but I it's a little late, but I wanted to apologize for sending you to speak with Alora.
Oh, it's okay. I mean, t she is quite something.
That is very correct, but I shouldn't have asked that of you after everything you had been through. It was a misguided thing on my part, so I'm sorry it caused you distress.
I mean, it's not your fault. It's Allura's just like that. And after all, I chose to go and speak with her.
I suppose. You did seem very upset after that conversation, though. I don't want to pry, but is everything okay?
Uh, I mean, you know, she said some strange things, I guess. I mean, I don't, it was weird. Um, Do you want to like?
Strange.
I don't know.
Yes, we can.
I don't know if there's actually. I don't have a very good place to like.
Wherever makes you most comfortable.
I don't know. I mean, I guess we could just go in this little nice little table that I have here
True,
that I
true.
built.
Oh, slash
With some
sit.
strange chairs. um, but when I was talking with her, we did get into the conversation of my wings.
Ah,
Cause
I
yeah.
see.
Mhm.
I mean, I know she had them at the auction. I can't imagine how distressing that must have been.
Yeah.
What
Um.
else did she have to say?
Well, I asked her kind of how she got them, and she mentioned she actually had them for um quite a long time, but
Oh,
yeah, which was weird because um I mean, I don't know how old she is, but it did seem like it was a long time.
well, she's definitely older than me, and that is saying something.
Oh my goodness.
But
Uh
I mean, you only showed up here, what, a year or so ago?
mhm.
And the valley had been open till now for 11 or so years. And before that, it was sealed for 10,000, give or take.
10,000 years. It's quite a long time.
Had you been here before the Love Festival?
Uh I don't mm, I don't I wasn't uh I no, actually. I didn't go to the Love Festival. I think someone has mentioned it to me before, but I forget who.
Yes, I remember it was after the festival that Artemis had brought your name up to me, um, which is
Ah.
mainly why I bring that up.
Uh,
I guess my first
oh.
reference of you is from that time.
Yeah. I mean,
First,
that
I
makes
was aware you were
sense.
in the valley, unless you were there beforehand for Allura to have had your wings for a long time.
Uh
What
mm,
do you remember before coming here?
well, I remember a lot more than I did when I first came, but it just feels like a lot of scrambled bits and pieces that just don't form well together. But
Hmm,
in most of them, there's always this one person who I don't even know the name of, but it's just this human of sorts. But I've never seen him around the valley or anywhere before I came here, or since I came here.
I see. And
Yeah.
other than those hazy recollections, your first memory was coming here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was, well, specifically, it was waking up a little bit outside of here, I guess.
Outside of the
Uh,
valley.
yeah, was, it was in a tree, which is really weird. But I was trying to find something that I don't even know what it was or what it was for. And then
And you woke up
yeah.
without your wings
Yeah. No
from
wings.
a tree.
Yeah. It was really weird.
And Allura said they had your wings for a very long time. Did she
Yes.
mention how she got them?
Well, she didn't say, but she told me that for certain she wasn't the one who took them. So I'm not sure who did, I guess.
Hmm. It's very hard to make any definitive guesses or assumptions when you can't seem to remember,
Yeah, it's
but
quite difficult.
I might have a theory,
Oh,
though it's a bit of a long shot. Um,
yeah?
well, obviously Allura was here in the valley, the original valley 10,000 years
Mm-hmm.
ago before it was destroyed,
Oh,
even had a hand in destroying it.
oh.
And Lizzie made you aware of what they knew about your wings, correct?
Yeah, with the potion.
Yes. I know several things about Allura. One is that she's dabbled in love potions before,
Oh,
and her wanting your wings for that purpose would make quite a lot of sense. What doesn't is her holding on to them for a long time and not using
uh,
them unless she couldn't use them on anyone.
hmm. That is weird.
And the only time period where something that powerful would be redundant would be when there was only two living souls in the valley.
Oh, huh.
The only thing which would really throw a wrench into the thought that maybe she took your wings before the original valley was destroyed would be, well, the fact you yourself are still alive.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. I mean,
Velas
humans
aren't,
don't live that long.
you're not immortal, definitely a long life
No,
species, but not
definitely not.
immortal. But remember what I said that I
Weird.
had a long shot hypothesis?
Yeah.
Magic is a confusing and fickle thing. Fae creatures like myself and technically like you have a
Mm-hmm.
very, very strong connection to the natural magics of this world. Nature and all of its components. It's why so many of us live in forests.
Makes sense.
And often, when a magical creature when a magical creature is in a life-threatening position or has experienced some form of trauma, their magic can react. Um, I suppose the best way to put it, that tree you woke up from might have
Yeah.
been a bit more than just a normal tree.
It, what?
If if you lost your wings, if they were taken from you like they were, and you somehow made it outside of the valley before before Warren killed everyone, then there's a possibility that maybe, I suppose equating it to a coma would have been the most accurate sense to do so. A magic-induced one, but same effect.
Oh.
They're basic, well, I suppose it's, how do I put this? A failsafe, a second chance. They don't usually persist for so long, but it's sort of a form of stasis, healing, um, natural healing sort of environment for a person.
Oh. That,
They're not very common.
uh,
I've never really thought of it being a viable solution to anything since, well, you can't really force them to happen. They just kind of happen when a person's body and mind and magic all agree that they are not safe where they are or as they are.
oh.
I feel like losing your wings probably would have constituted that.
I mean, that definitely makes sense.
It would make sense why your memory is so scrambled if it had been so long.
Yeah, just kind of unbelievable that it would be for that long.
Truly, I honestly can't imagine why, but
Neither can I.
there's one thing I've learned in the valley, it's that things happen oddly, and the universe has a funny way of pulling them all together.
So, world does work in weird ways.
Definitely. But that man you
Just,
remember,
yeah.
is he the only person you remember?
Um, yeah. He's the only person who's been in any of the memories that I've gotten back. Very little, that is, but he's just always there.
Well, potentially it could be a loved one, someone you were close to before you lost your wings, or the darker alternative, they were the last person you saw before you lost them.
Oh,
Obviously, there's
yeah.
no way of knowing. I am purely hypothesizing right now,
Yeah.
but I'm
Yeah, I
sorry
guess
you
there
have to
is.
have so many unanswered questions.
No, it's okay. I I mean, I appreciate you trying to help. I mean,
What good is a scholar if I can't, well, at least theorize on someone's problems?
yeah. I mean, at least now we have a hypothesis better than when I first came here.
I suppose. At the very least, maybe it will be some food for thought, help your memories get jogging at some point.
Yeah, yeah, could help.
But even if you don't remember your past or what happened to you, you have a life here, people who care about you now. Sometimes the past isn't all it's cracked up to be. Sometimes dwelling on it is far more painful than anyone really deserves to have to experience.
Yeah. I mean, that's true.
So no
I've
matter
met
what you
so many wonderful
remember,
people.
just know there are people here now, and they'll do
Yeah.
anything for you, Rose.
Oh, thank you, Jay. I appreciate it.
Of course. It's the least I can do, given everything.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm glad you came though. It's also just nice to see you.
It has been quite a while since we caught up. It
Yeah,
was rather chaotic during the soiree.
it was very chaotic. A lot of things happening.
Very much so. Very much so. But I suppose I won't keep you much longer, though. When you do find Lyd,
Mhm.
perhaps keep her close.
Yeah,
I worry with the state of the valley right now. People, like I said, disappearing or running off without telling anybody. I
yeah.
don't want to scare you, but I fear Warren might be getting a bit more active as of late.
Oh, that's not good.
If you
Um,
are ever worried for your safety or anything, the sanctuary is always open to you. Okay?
thank you.
Of course. And do let me know if you need anything.
I will, and you do too.
Thank you. All right.
You're welcome.
Have a wonderful day.
Thank you. You take care.
Ta-ta.
Bye. Bye.
Well, Allura is always a pain in our sides. But I suppose after all this time, after we learned about those love potions, or the attempt to make a real, true love potion on Allura's behalf, it's as good as time as any to go talk to the cretin. Maybe after everything, she'll have something to say. I still need to find out what that letter was about. You are not getting off scot-free, Marzaki. One thing at a time. Been running around looking for anyone who's gone missing since the party. Anyone who I just haven't heard from in a while. Karma's off searching too. I suppose. A last attempt at drawing information from a credible source. It's worth a shot. Allura. No. No. How did. What was. Lilith. Lilith. Fuck! She's. She broke the glass. She, she's gone. She's gone. No, 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 no. How long has. Does a little dance. Oh. I'm trying to open something, but it's not opening quick enough. That's the end of lore, though. I haven't done this in a while. I haven't done this in a while, can you tell? Okay, there we go. That's opening. Woo! Lore! Go away, Black Desert Online ad. We don't need you. We don't need you. Where is my Vroid studio? Almost there, almost there, almost there. There we go. Ah. Is it working? Yes, it's working. There we go. I should have opened this before stream, but I was like, oh, that's gonna lag out Minecraft. Hi guys! It's me! It's been a while. I hope you liked the lore. I hope you liked that little cliffhanger. I'm gonna get off of the lore music. Oh, I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad you liked it. It feels so weird to be live again after so long. I'm a little scared, guys. I'm a little afraid. But hi. It's been a hot minute. This lore stream was supposed to happen before VidCon, TwitchCon, whichever con happened. It was supposed to happen before then. And then I had a mental breakdown, which just seems to be my life right now, is a series of mental breakdowns and hyperfixations. Oh, but that's just how it goes. I'm gonna change the title to be After Lore. Let's do After Lore, After Lore, After Lore Party, After Lore Party. And let's make it just chatting, because I just want to chat. I just want to chat. Hello, hello. But I hope everyone has been alright. I hope you enjoyed the stream today. But yeah, me and Rose originally planned to do this stream before Twitch or VidCon, or I don't keep up with when anything is happening anymore. I don't know what's going on. I missed you too. I missed you guys. But yeah, the stream was still happened a while ago. Specifically for that end moment that I wanted to do, because I still haven't posted my recording of the party stream. I have the recording still. I'm like 90% sure I still have the recording, but I haven't posted it because I got it in my head that I was gonna do some light edits on it, and then I never have. So maybe this will give me the motivation to do that, so you guys can get some content one of these days. I think it was both VidCon and TwitchCon. I think they happened around the same time, but I remember it specifically because we were meant to have the stream the Thursday beforehand. And then I had to cancel because I was sad. And then Rose was like, I'm away. I'm away this week for TwitchCon. I'm like, oh, okay. And then we only got around to rescheduling it now. But it went very well. Rose Thunder is delightful as always, as always. Flying by the seat of my pants there a little bit with just speaking and stuff. Because it's been a hot minute. I haven't talked a lot today. I haven't been talking a lot in general. But one thing is for sure, I can talk. I can talk forever. I just need the motivation to do so. And right now I have the motivation to do so. The lore warmed me up, guys. The lore warmed me up. But yeah, hopefully I'm not going to say there's going to be a lot of lore stuff happening, because as far as my character's POV, or well, my character has always kind of been there to like help other characters, and she has her own personality and like stuff going on and everything. But I don't have many like personal law things that I have planned to do. I just have a lot of stuff with other people, um, which we're gonna be waiting on for a bit. And we keep being like, this SMP is gonna end this month, next month, in 2 months, and then it doesn't end up happening. So I'm just gonna stop putting dates on things and be like, it's gonna end when my shopping list is done, and then we can say bye-bye. And when that's gonna be, you'll just have to wait and see. And don't mind the peanut barking in the background because she's a yapper. It might just never end. I might just eternally suffer. For some reason, when I tilted my head down, it stopped tracking my mouth. This is what happens when you have a shitty Logitech camera that you're using for your VTuber model. I don't recommend it. Use your phone. It's got better facial recognition tracking, that's for sure. I just can't be bothered. I don't know where to put my phone. I don't have actually, I do have a tripod that goes that high up, but I'm gonna knock it off my desk one of these days. I've got a massive tripod with like a ring light on it behind my monitor, and then to the left, right above my vertical monitor, is my window with a heavy metal curtain pole, which is falling out of the wall. It's falling out of the wall because my dad tried to hammer it into one of the like the load-bearing walls of the house. So it wouldn't go in. So now it's falling out, and if it falls out, it could narrowly miss my entire setup, or it could destroy my entire PC. And that's what I like to call living on the edge. Your phone is always better than a webcam. Yeah, but the thing is, my phone is like a Samsung S8, which has a really shitty camera. I was FaceTiming Mars, and I was like, Mars, I cut my hair. And he was like, cool, I love it. And then he sent me a screenshot later being like, this is what I saw, by the way. And it was just completely blurred. Like, you could make out the brown blob of my hair and see nothing else. Like, it was just... It was something. It was something, alright. Yeah, my phone camera isn't the best. And I just don't have a place to really appropriately put my phone to track me, except above my monitor, which I feel like wouldn't work very well. Considering how everything is placed, my desk is just too small, I feel. But I'm not getting a bigger one because that's expensive, and all my money is going on driving lessons right now. Which is a fun thing. I'm gonna have my test in December, which is scary. I might be a driver in December if I don't fail. So let's hope that I don't fail, because I don't want to fail. I don't want to fail. I want to be a big girl. I want to be a big girl. I'm going to be a big girl who goes to therapy and drives cars. Driving terrifies me. Honestly, that's very fair. One thing that always throws me for a loop that I don't think about is that, like, a car is a piece of heavy machinery that, like, you're making move around. Gonna be on the road. I have been on the roads for several months, I'll have you know, and I have only almost crashed twice. It's fine. It's fine. I promise. No, it's actually fine. When, at least here in the UK, when you have like an actual driving instructor, like someone whose job it is to be an instructor, their car will have like, it will have like, I forget what the pedals are called a lot, but that does not mean I forget how to use them. I just forget their names. You got the accelerator and the brake and the clutch. It's called the clutch. That's the one I always forget. That's great. But you have those three pedals, and then in the other side of in the other seat next to you, your instructor will have a clutch and a brake, but not an accelerator as well. So if you fuck up, they can fix it. Which is very useful. And my instructor's got one of those fancy cars where they have like a camera at the back so that when you reverse, you can see in the little front panel how you're reversing. We haven't done parking yet, officially. We've been doing roundabouts for a very long time, but, you know, I've gone 40 miles an hour and nothing bad happened. It's very fun. I like driving. It's very fun, but it's also kind of it is definitely scary. But you've just got to pay attention and learn. I think the scariest thing about driving is you have to pay attention to so many things, because you've got to pay attention to the other people driving around you, and then the roads that you are on all have different signs of things that you can and cannot do. And there's just a lot of information, and you also have to know where you're going, which is the scariest thing for me, because I don't know where I'm going in life, let alone on the roads. So that's something. But it's definitely fun. I'm looking forward to officially being able to drive. That's going to be a cool thing. But I guess while I'm here, I should talk about what I've been up to, aside from slowly but surely getting the Mythrill finale ready, which, like, we have all the voice lines, and we have, like, a very small amount of the recording done. Like, a very small amount, and nothing edited, really. But you know, it's we're working on it, and it's gonna be cool. I drove like a year ago, and your biggest problem was not paying attention. My brain does not have the processing power for this. That's very fair. My anxiety helps me compensate, but it is also a hindrance, because when I fuck up, I freeze. When I fuck up, I freeze, and you should not freeze when you're driving. Like, if I stall the car, I cry. My last driving lesson, I stalled the car. It wasn't fully my fault. Actually, it was fully my fault. I was gonna go round a roundabout, and I had been paying attention to a bus that was also going around, and the bus went in the direction towards me, like, not on my side of the road, but the opposite side, because it was going down that bit. And it successfully did that, and we had no issues. But the bus is very big, and I didn't see the car behind the bus. So I went to go, the car behind the bus came out, and my instructor forced my car to stop, and then that stalled me because he took control of the car without warning. But it saved us from probably crashing. So I can't blame him. But we did stall the car twice in a minute. Driving a big metal death machine freeze. But no, literally my hands flew off the wheel as soon as the car stalled and covered my mouth. And he was like, "Don't cover your mouth, fix the car." And I was like, ah. Right. It's fine. It's fine. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's fine. It's definitely not fine. I do good in my lessons normally. When I first started, I never stalled. I've only started stalling since being on not proper roads. I've always been on roads, but like since I've been doing roundabouts, because they're scarier. Cars are a lot, but they're fun. They're fun. I can technically drive. I know all of the thought process. It's just putting it into practice, so I can technically drive, and that's very fun. What else have I been up to, though, since it's been... God, the last stream I did was, like, last month for Pride Month. It was, like, the start of Pride Month. That's a while. That's a while, oh my god. I went to a concert. I went to an I Don't Know How But They Found Me concert. Had a sex on a beach. A drink, not the activity. It was really good. I hadn't had tequila before. I didn't get drunk. I'm a very responsible drinker. And because I am very responsible, I refused to let Charlie Swarm have what equated to 3 glasses of a tequila all to herself, and instead shared the burden. I shared the burden while we waited in line for I Don't Know How But They Found Me, who, like, used to be the Brobex, or in the Brobex, and also, I think, was in Panic at the Disco at one point. He was cool. Liked him. What is it? Dallin Weeks? I don't remember. I don't remember artist names unless they go by their name and not something really, really long. Shouldn't be, I don't know how, but they found me. Should be, I don't know who this man is. Miss Law, hey, Kayloy. Also, hi, Kayloy. Hi, Kayloy. I love you. Hi, Kayloy. Hi, Kayloy. It's okay. It was like 30 minutes of me and Rose talking and then some cool juicy stuff at the end that you'll probably enjoy. But you can go back and watch it in a bit when I'm just talking about my life. That's very much seems like something Charlie's one would do. Yeah, it was cool. I went with Charlie and some of her friends who I hadn't met before, and the two of them were dating. So it was two of them dating next to us, and then me and Charlie looking like a gay couple. And I say that like we were hugging and kissing and everything. Just it was like, you know, if they're gonna be kissing, so are we. Not in that way, but you know, it was a cute time. It was a cute time. A very fun concert. It was my first time. I've gone to a lot of concerts, but I've always had seated tickets. The only exception was when I went to a festival, because it's a festival and you don't get seats. Saw 21 Pilots at that festival. It was cool. Also, The Blossoms and I think Billie Eilish, and a couple of other people. And I don't want to listen to Satisfy from Hamilton right now. This song does not satisfy me. Me hitting my mouse so that it functions. There we go. Yes, Mardy Bum. We like that. We like that a lot. Actually, now I kind of want to listen to I don't know how, but they found me. So we're gonna do that. Load. Well, let's do their new album. Wait, I want my favorite song on the new album. I want my favorite Speak of the Devil. There we go. There we go. But yeah, I did that. London scares me. I thought I got better at London. It still scares me. Mainly when the internet tries to give me above trains to get home when I'm looking for underground trains. That's not helpful, especially when the underground doesn't have Wi-Fi access. London is very scary. It doesn't scare me as much as it used to. I know my way around some areas of London very well. The place they hold Comic-Con, back of my hand, I can go everywhere. I can make it from Waterloo or Paddington to there, like blindfolded. Probably not blindfolded, actually. I need to be able to read the train lines. But I can get there very easily. But we went to, not the O2, but it was like Westfield O2 area. So it was very good. Someone cute asking, "Oh my god, where are you?" I don't see you, Lizzie. You said there was someone cute on screen. I don't see you anywhere. That makes me sad. I'm frowning, but it's not picking up my frown. It's picking up that I look high. Talking about you? Nah. Navigate down to my own city. I know how to navigate my city. Well, I know how to navigate like the town area. I can walk there. I can walk there in many different ways. And by many different ways, I mean like three different ways. And two of them lead to the same place. Well, actually, all of them lead to the same place because they all go to the town. But two of them are the same direction. And one, well, actually, no, they all the same. Never mind. Never mind. But yeah, I went to a concert. I've been learning to drive. My sister gives birth in a couple of days. And I'm gonna be an aunt. I'm not ready for that responsibility. Just walk randomly and either get there or get lost or result to Google Maps. That's very fair. That's very fair. Yeah, things are happening. Things are fucking happening. I started rewatching My Hero Academia today. I got through the first season, and I remembered that I actually hate the first half of the first season. I don't hate it. I don't hate it, okay? I am a My Hero Academia stan. I love it, but it is very slow. That the first half of season 1 is all just like, oh, I want to be a hero. I'm becoming a hero. I'm in school. Yay! And it's like, we know you're going to get into school. It's called My Hero Academia. You spend half of the season convincing us that he's getting into school, and then he gets into school, and I'm bored because I know what's gonna happen. And how it happens, just it takes too long. It takes too long. I'm on season 2 now, which I like because it introduces my favorite character, Shinso Hitoshi, who I stole the name from to make my mascot Toshi, because Hitoshi is a Japanese name that means star.
Boop.
So I took off the he and just made it Toshi. That is literally the reason. Oh, is MAH better later on? I tried watching it, but I hated the first 3 episodes. Okay. I am one of those people who I will always, like, practically guaranteed, and there are a couple of mild exceptions, but I always hate the first episode of an anime. Like, there is almost no exceptions. Like, I think I liked the first episode of Attack on Titan. That is like my most recent anime experience of like getting invested. But even this was like shows in general, I usually hate the first episode because the beginning of shows are always like set up and stuff. My Hero Academia, the first half of Deku getting into school, I don't like. The second half of season 1, where they have a training exercise, and then they have a different training exercise in the finale. Because one is like a student training exercise, and the other one is the rescue mission. I can't hear because ads. Okay, I will stall for a bit because I want to tell Burger about My Hero Academia. But season 2 has my favorite two of my favorite characters. I'd say my top 3 favorite characters are Izuku Midoriya, who is the main character of the show, because honestly, I like him for the fanfiction. I like him for the fanfiction because the nature of the show itself is like so ripe for what if scenarios. And Midoriya is just at the epicenter of all of it because he is the main character, so it makes the most sense to make a what if scenario based around him. And like, what if he stayed quirkless, or what if he got a quirk, or what if he always had a quirk, what if he became a villain, or what if he became a vigilante? And it's just ripe for headcanons. And I love that. I love that in my shows. Like, some of the best fan fiction I have ever read has been in the My Hero Academia like AO3 page. And I will admit that. I will admit that happily. But yeah, are the ads over yet? Which ads are long bitches. And I'm hoping we don't have too bad of a stream delay for anything. Also, I should check my Minecraft to see if Rose said anything in the chat to me. No, they didn't. Hello, Estelle. Hello. Yeah, ended this a few seconds ago. Hello. Okay, what I was saying. First half of My Hero Academia, it is purely set up for the main character and All Might, like Izuku and All Might, and like the world that it is in, and like the state of things. My dog moved and it scared me. So my first ungifted sub, ayo. You're so based for that. You're so based. I have not used my Prime sub in a while. I don't watch Twitch streams as much as I used to. I'm gonna be honest. Are you being sick, Peanut? You better fucking not. I'm not cleaning it. But yeah, the first half of season 1, don't enjoy it. It's important for story purposes. Don't enjoy it. Second half, lot better. Season 2 has my favorite characters in it, and a tournament arc, which are like notorious in these kind of animes. And I like season 2 a lot because of the other characters it progresses outside of a Midoriya. Because season 1 is very like Midoriya centric with a little bit of, I was gonna say Bakugo, but he doesn't actually get any development in that season. He just is a dick. But it's very Izuku centered. She's using money. You just got debit card. Hey yo, nice one, nice one. Use your Prime again, but it won't let me for some reason. Sometimes Twitch is just mean. Sometimes Twitch is just mean and evil, and we should fight it. But it definitely. Long story short, to answer Burger's question from before, My Hero Academia does get better. I'd say discount the first half of season 1. I stuck through with it because I knew it was really good. The first time I watched it was just before season 5 released. And I think I binge watched season 1 through 3 and then decided to save 4 for when 5 came out because I'd have more content to consume. And then I never actually watched it. Also, hi Rose! Hi! Hello, my lovely! Oh, I love doing lore with you. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you had a good stream. I've just been catching up with my chat because it's been a while since I last streamed. Any of the Rose Thunder viewers, feel free to join my Discord if you haven't already. I'm on a bit of a stream break right now. Oh, I love you too, Rose. I was put in the game chat that they love me. Oh my god. I'm on a bit of a stream break right now, so my streams are gonna be very all over the place, mainly doing Mythrill lore and then probably any events that I get into in the meantime, which probably won't be a lot because I'm not really actively looking for stuff right now. But I want to do a check-in at least like once a month to see how everyone's doing and you know, talk about life. We were just talking about My Hero Academia because I started rewatching it today and I was just, why are my clouds on? Oh, it's because I turned my shaders off. Okay, I'm gonna log off of Minecraft. But yeah, TLDR, My Hero Academia gets better the longer you watch it. My favorite part about it is definitely the characterization. I think another reason why it is amazing for fan fiction is because even though not every character gets their own like proper personal arc or to be fleshed out in, they all have such loud personalities that even when they don't get a lot of screen time, there is stuff to build off of there. Like, I was saying this, my two favorite characters are Shinso Hitoshi and Hatsune Mei. And I'm pretty sure Shinso gets more screen time. I'm pretty sure he gets more screen time as the seasons progress. Probably in like season 4 or 5 because I haven't watched those. And he was in 2 and then maybe in the background of 3 at one point, but I don't remember. It's been a couple of years. There's 7 seasons out now, and the last time I watched it, season 5 had yet to release. And apparently the final season entirely is coming out soon. So that's something. Wow, it's been a while. But like he's just a background character for the tournament arc, and so is Hatsune Mei. And they appear in season 2 for a few minor episodes, and they're my favorite characters because of how much personality they show in that short amount of time that they are given. Like Shinso just has such like, he has his own arc. He's an obstacle in the tournament arc, but he is so important, and like I love him. I love him. Give him more screen time. And then Hatsune Mei is just fun. And her name is so close to Hatsune Miku, so you have to love her. But yeah, I started watching it again because I was talking to Mars about it. And I think he'd like heard about it but hadn't watched it before. And then he started watching it. And I was like, well, I've been meaning to rewatch this for ages. I was gonna put it on our joint watch list, but now I'm just gonna watch it. I'm just gonna look at it. And then I got a headache because I refused to watch it. I should have said this from the start. I refused to watch My Hero Academia dubbed because, and this is the only reason, I hate that they pronounce Bakugo's name incorrectly. Not Bakugo, they say that correctly, but his name is Katsuki? His name is Katsuki Bakugo. That is his name. That is how you say his name. Katsuki. Katsu Ki. Katsuki. Okay? They call him Katsuki in the dub. They call him fucking Katsuki. And I will die. I will die on this hill, and it is the one reason I am not an aficionado of how to speak Japanese or pronounce anything. I pronounce things wrong all the fucking time. But I cannot deal with that. I cannot deal with that personally. So, I've also heard that the dub is like really cringy in terms of just anime dubs, but I don't know. This is like before S5 started. Same. I stopped at season 3. Season 4 was out, I stopped at season 3. On your second monitor, not reading most of the time. That is like incredibly valid, and I do not hold it against you. I just have a grudge. I really should watch it dubbed. I feel like it would be... I say this because I had a headache today, and I think it was because I was watching it subbed, and I wasn't paying full attention, because one of the things I really quickly realized rewatching season 1 is that I almost remembered everything that happened beat for beat, and that might be because of the amount of fanfiction that I've consumed for My Hero Academia, to the point that, like, it's stayed in my mind. Even the character names have stayed in my mind, which is rare for an anime when it's not, like, the main character. I love Angel Beats. Don't remember any of the characters' names in Angel Beats, but I love that show. It's 12 episodes. I don't remember anyone's name. But My Hero Academia, I remember practically everybody's name. Well, everyone in class 1A, I know their names. I know all of their names. Any other character is inconsequential to me, unless it's Awazata, because I love him. I don't even know how to pronounce All Might's actual name. I think it's Toshimasu, but I don't remember. I have to have it in front of me. I just call him All Might. I just call him All Might. But watching season 1, and I was like playing games and writing stuff at the same time because I remembered most of the things that were happening. But when I got near the end, where they really drag out that ending, by the way. They drag that out so much. But it's good. Their battles are just like, they do battles in the we have to explain every single thing that is happening and react to every single thing that is being shown on screen in a very dramatic, over-the-top way, because we are an anime. And I can respect that medium. I didn't have a problem with it the first time I watched it, and I probably won't have a big problem with it when I get to new content. But right now, it's a little pace breaking. But I watched that, and I was paying more attention to the ending of season 1 and reading like the subbed lines and paying attention to who was talking and stuff, which I wasn't doing for the rest of it, because I wanted to like get all of that information, because I remember the main beats but not maybe everything that happens. And then I start season 2. I got to like episode 2 of season 2, and I got the nastiest fucking headache of my life. And I could not tell if it was because, admittedly, I stayed up till like 3 a.m. last night reading fanfiction, and it wasn't My Hero Academia fanfiction, but I was reading fanfiction. And then I woke up at 8 a.m. and I didn't drink a lot of water for the past couple of days. So you can't rule out if it was water, exhaustion, or eye strain. Thank you, burger. Delicious. I hydrated. But you know, I went off my PC, I lied down in bed, went on my phone, which isn't going to help with the eye strain allegations if I'm on my phone reading more fan fiction when I was just complaining about, you know, reading an anime. I try my hardest. I might be getting therapy, so I'm trying my hardest. There was a witch in your game. Oh. But yeah, I think just the reading whilst also watching everything move might have fucked with me. Because when I went on my phone for a couple of hours in bed and I was fine. My headache, it's still there, but it's not as bad as it was. Like, my head is just like a little bit fuzzy, and that isn't bad. Thank you for another hydrate, April. Thank you. Delicious, delicious. Double hydrate. Yippee! I might need to get more water at some point. I don't know how long I'm gonna keep chatting for, but I wanna update you guys on my life. So right now, what I've been looking at is My Hero Academia. And this is definitely the reason outside of like Mars watching it for the first time, the reason I wanted to start watching My Hero Academia again, also aside from the fact I never finished, or I'm not caught up at all, I never finished what was even released at the time, was because I, along with reading a lot of fan fiction recently, my TikTok has just been a lot of just TikToks recommending fan fiction to me, or people acting out parts of fanfics that they have read. And because it is TikTok, a lot of those things have been My Hero Academia. And if they're not My Hero Academia, they have been Batman and Danny Phantom. Let me tell you, the best thing to read whilst having no knowledge of the source material is Danny Phantom. Because I am so, like, intrinsically interested in the world of Danny Phantom. But I don't really have any desire to watch the show. Probably because it's Butch Hartman. And probably because it's, like, a early days, like, animated show. I'm assuming that it's at least half decently good. I know more than I did before I read fanfiction about it. And I've seen a couple of videos talking about parts of it. But I've never seen the show. But it's really fun reading a fanfiction crossover of Danny Phantom and Batman. Because you have the detective superhero and the little shit ghost boy. And it's just a wild ride. And they usually end up with, like, Batman adopting him because he's a black-haired, blue-eyed kid. And it's funny. I have a problem with reading fanfiction. I think we can understand that. I just like reading. I like writing as well. I've been writing scares me. Because it's like, it's a commitment to sit down and write an actual story. So I write a lot of one-shots. I write a lot of... I've written Mythrill fanfiction before, which I think most people are aware of at this point, which most of it will never see the light of day. Because I'm self-conscious. And some of that stuff is just not for public viewing. It's not... Nothing is terrible. But yeah, I'm gonna move on from that. But like, I really want to write a book. And I have like a lot of story ideas and character concepts that I've had for fucking years. Like when I was in secondary school, which, oh my god, that's like 5 years. Oh my god, that's like 5 years ago I was in secondary school. What the fuck? I'm old. I'm so old. My god. But when I was in secondary school, whenever I had an idea or a concept for a story, I would write it in a document. And I still have that document. And I've edited it a lot so that now, like, I have the stories which I fleshed out enough that they have, like, characters and a plot progression. And then I have the stories which I had a concept for, but nothing really else. Like, sometimes it's just, I want a story with a character like this in it. Or I want a story in a world that is this. Or I want a story where this is the main premise. And then those get jotted down as like a note somewhere else. your fan fiction. Yes. Mythrill is like it started as mine and Sky's brainchild, taking whatever stray thoughts that we had to do like with what would be interesting, because there were 3 owners at the time, or 1 owner, and then me and Sky were helping before before we did what the British always do and have an uprising. Oh no, conquer, that is what it's called. You can tell it's been long enough because I'm joking about that stuff now. But there was 3 people running the show. Mythrill had been a name that I suggested for the whole thing, and then we had Mythrill tools added and like custom added, which was like the start of us having custom things on the server to begin with. And it was basically those 2 through lines and a bit. And that bit was I was building my floating island house on stream, and no one else was on the server, and the person running the server at the time didn't have access to their PC, but did have access to the server console, I think through their phone, and then started role-playing with me through the server console, and pretending to be some, like, all-knowing, all-powerful god, who I then said, "What's your name?" And they refused to tell me their name, so I said, "Okay, I'm gonna call you Bucket." And that was the origin of Warren. The origin of Warren was like, okay, we already have this established, quote-unquote, established deity. How do we implement that? And then what we did was we scrapped him. We said, okay, we're going to get... Bucket never existed. That interaction with me never happened. But we're taking that idea of an all-powerful, all-knowing god and making that a new character. And Sky wasn't the person who originally played that thing in the bit, but we made Sky the one, because the actor for it, because I thought it would be more interesting if it wasn't the person owning the server at the time. And then I was Karma, who was my... Karma was, like, originally my evil alter ego. Her initial concept was an evil alter ego for my avatar character. And when I got admin privileges on Mythrill, I decided to fuck with one of the members. Well, okay, one of the members was fucking with another member who was live, unprompted, and I was like, this seems not uncomfortable, but like, I want to intervene. And so I took over by putting on my Karma skin at the time and just letting them summon a demon. So she was canon from her first interaction. Bucket was scrapped and replaced with Warren. And then Allura was originally the evil time-traveling alter ego of the owner, who, when they were removed for being problematic and very should not have been on the internet, I'll say it like that, I played damage control and the role got passed to somebody else, and we went with a face shapeshifter angle to justify the appearance change, and tried to make people think they were a vampire because they originally were a vampire, so it made sense to give like a mystery. Reina's AFK, what is happening? Hi, I'm Jay. I'm just chatting because I haven't been live in like a month and I thought I'd talk to guys and it's cute. We're talking about the Mythrill SMP origins because I got on a tangent and that was the lore that you just watched. So if you want a little minor history lesson or just some fun facts, that I'm going into that apparently. But yeah, we basically had those 3 characters that already existed on the server, in some incarnation or another, and we took them. When three people running this, 3 people with characters or secondary characters to their ones that they stream with. 3 arcs to the server for each one. And then I expanded the story out from there. And I like to think I'm very good at taking stray concepts and tying them all together. Which is basically just I'm good at fixing plot holes. So, open SMP or not? Nah, it's not an open SMP. It is an application-based SMP where applications have been closed for a very long time and they won't be opening because we're in the final season and we're hoping to end the server in a couple of months because it's been going on for 3 years. So, yeah. But you can check out the Discord and the card site and see all the people. I actually need to update the card because I forgot to put the people's new bios on there. That's my bad. Thanks for reminding me. I'll somebody note that down for me. Someone DM me or put it in my mod part of my Discord, please, because I'm going to forget. I need to fix that. I will do that later. But yeah, and then it expanded out from there, and then everyone running it fell off until it was just me. Oh, hi Sol. Hello. It's just kind of me. And yeah. I think when something goes on for as long as Mythrill has, it's very hard to have the stamina to continue with it like people previously did. Because at the start of Arc 3, it was very, very active for quite a while. Like, I couldn't keep up. And now it's the opposite, which I think is just very typical. Thank you, Burger. Thank you so much. I think that makes a lot of sense, and that's part of the reason why we want to, like, close out the story. But I think my problem, a problem that I've realized I have, is Mythrill is my first lore SMP. It was my first time running an SMP. I was very underprepared. Like I said, I wasn't the original owner. I was very underprepared. But I'm thankful for the experience nonetheless. I'm very happy with everything that I have accomplished and all the people that I have met. Like, that is just the biggest blessing. And the fact that people enjoy the story, even to, like, a small degree, means the world to me. Like, honestly, I couldn't ask for a better, more wholesome community than what we have going on. And it makes me so happy. It makes me so happy. But I am a writer. I am a show enjoyer, and I grew up with YouTube Minecraft roleplays, which are a lot more structured than I feel most stream-based roleplays are. Because what a lot of stream-based roleplays will be is that you're all on a server together, maybe there is a backstory or specific credentials your character has to meet, or things in the world going on. But it's always like a bit of a free-for-all of you just do stuff when you want, unless there's an event or you have stuff planned. And I think a lot of stuff defaults to having a lot of events to compensate, or like Caboodle nowadays, Caboodle SMP, like they have like a very rigid structure of we're doing a stream on these days to progress our story. And I think that's like a smart way of doing it, but that's a lot of work and that's a lot of stress. Mythrill was always kind of like a middle ground of everyone chooses what streams they want to do and what plot they want to progress, and then I help them flesh it out, and then they do it. But it's very individual, and I always call it like semi-scripted, because we don't know what words we're going to be saying. We just know the point that we're going to be going towards. I don't know if you're going to do it already, but do you think you'll make a world download available for Mythrill once it ends? I don't know. I honestly don't know. Because my main issue with it is it's a very big world file. So if I uploaded it to something like Medifile or fucking, what's it called? Dropbox, there's going to be an expiration on it because it's a very big file. And the alternative is just having it like on a drive. But again, it's a very big file. And what will probably end up happening to like the email I currently have for Mythrill stuff is it's probably going to be abandoned. Not abandoned, but like I'm not going to use it for anything because Mythrill will be over. So I could put the thing on there, and I have previously, to allow like members to download the world files so that they can do like stuff off server with it. But it's very up in the air, and it's a modded world where a lot of items aren't gonna be like accessible because I won't be sharing the resource pack for it. Partly because I've put a lot of work and effort into that resource pack. All of the models are like I've made, or not all of them, but about 95% of the models on the server and custom textures and everything I've made. And that other 5%, I don't know where all of them came from. I know some of the Elytra textures that we have, I found online. We got permission from the creators to use them. But I also think some of them state that you can use them in your own texture packs, but you can't distribute those texture packs with the textures in them. So then it becomes a bit of a landmine of like, this isn't my property, I shouldn't be putting this out there, even if it's not for a profit. It's still a download of the content, which isn't mine. And there are a couple 3D models on the server that I don't know where they came from. Best example I can think of, Panky's old staff, the gold and pink one before it transformed into the blue one Katie has. The gold and pink one, I did not make. I do not know who made that. I don't know where it came from. So, thank you, Evan, thank you. I learned Blockbench for that server, and whew, I'm happy that I did, but oh boy. I could always, like, just take out anything that I don't know where it came from, but with how things are structured and the amount of time and effort that would take me, I just don't know if it would be worth it. Maybe just for the sake of, like, legacy, I could put the server up. I have multiple versions of the world file as well, is the thing, though. I'm pretty sure, unless I have lost them, which definitely could have happened with my file management, but I'm pretty sure I have a version of the server from, like, end of Arc 1, end of Arc 2 pre and post Crystals, and then most current of Arc 3, which probably won't be changing a lot going forward. You're doing those, maybe you want to try doing it. I recommend it. Blockbench isn't too difficult to work out. I'd say it helps if you have a reference image, and it doesn't mean you have to make one yourself. You can just find like I'll look up swords on Pinterest and just try and copy something. Like Katie's staff is me trying to like 3D model something based off a Pinterest image that Katie sent to me. But it helps have a bit of an artistic mind to it. But like anyone can do it. I'm not a master of it. There's a lot more I could learn. Group of friends together for an SMP didn't work out well, but I tried. And you can't blame you for trying. SMPs are like a really fun thing, and they're really fun to try and get to know people. But I think there's a lot of stuff that you really got to think about. If you're doing a SMP and it's just going to be you and like close friends, that will usually turn out fine. Obviously, friendship groups can go through things, and people cannot be who you think they are, and then things can mess up. Mythrill started out as a friends server, where I only knew one person when I joined, and then became a content server. which a content server is very different because people go into it with the expectation of not so much working together. Everyone in Mythrill is friends, obviously, but we don't go into it as friends. We go into it as, oh, we're here because we want to be part of this story and we want to do these things. And then you make those like connections with people based on like what you do with them and who you talk to when you're off camera and all of that kind of stuff. So there's like a lot of different layers to it. I could go into semantics about content creation and like behind the scenes things and that stuff for ages. Yeah, Mythrill was a bit all over the place. It was, I will agree to that. It's the nature of something that was not intended to be what it is. Yeah, Mythrill started out as Infinium, which then became Mythrill not long after I joined. Again, it was my name suggestion, and then I took over the project. And I've been trying to fix it ever since. I like to think I did a good job, partially. But yeah, the thing I was getting at is I am very narrative-minded. So Pride Games isn't even going on right now, Nightbot. That donation link probably doesn't work. Sorry, chat. I forgot to remove that. I think it was great. Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you. But no, I have a narrative brain. So constantly behind the scenes, I am always thinking, oh, I want to tie this person's thing into the overall stuff, and I want to tie this together with that, and I want to put this with this. Like, originally, before, like, going back to Arc 1, before Cloudy joined the server, Atmosphere was just going to be some old fucks from the past who died. Cloudy joined the server and was like, my character is in the valley because she's looking for her missing father. And I was like, I have an old man who could be that missing father, but wait, he's from 10,000 years ago. Time travel. Which, in fairness, I fucking hate time travel. It's my least favorite trope. I stopped watching the Flash CW series because of the end of season 2, because they started fucking about with time travel. And the only reason I resorted to time travel was because the owner at the time had already made it canon. And it wasn't my story, so I was like, okay, time travel is real anyway, so I might as well use it for a beneficial purpose. And I think as far as having time travel as a part of a story goes, Atmosphere is a very good use of it. Because Atmosphere is background. They are they are characters who have the modern perspective of like the cast of the SMP, who know all like the same world building stuff of the cast of the SMP, and are as out of their depth when they go to the past as the people finding their notes are. And they have connection to the present that makes people care about them more. Because again, Cloudy's father was the leader of Atmosphere. And they all died in the past. And none of the people they knew in the present knew what happened to them until Cloudy found the books from her father. Yeah, time travel doesn't usually work well. It's very hard to make work. I think the best way you can make time travel work is if it isn't the point of your story. Because even though time travel exists, and there are characters who we know have time traveled before, like Charlie is the only one on the server who has time traveled before. And nobody is able to anymore because you need a specific item that very few of them exist. And most of them have been destroyed. And when they are destroyed, they wipe things from existence, which is how we wrote out the ex-owner of the server. Because they push for the time travel plot, so I removed them with the time travel plot because I'm smart and maybe a little petty. Have different opinions on how time travel works. Yeah. I think the most interesting time travel scenario to me, that's why it was like never brought up, because it was implied through my character, I think, that people who had messed with time cruxes, specifically broken ones, had like deteriorated from people's memories and just been left as a, we know somebody used to have this and went here and did this thing, but no one knows who that person was because they were wiped from existence. The like echo of them is there, but they aren't anymore. I think one of my favorites, like, way they did time travel that I've seen was actually in, I think, Avengers Endgame, because they are going to the past, but they are not altering their future. They are creating different timelines in doing so that they do not explore in that movie. And I like how they have like one of those timelines, like Thanos comes back from it, and this is Endgame spoilers, but who fucking cares? It's been out for ages. Like, doing that partially annoyed me because it also allowed them to resurrect a character who was dead, but it was also interesting. So I'll give them that. And then they kind of went all over the place. Honestly, great time travel show, Loki. I've only seen the first season. Bad time travel show. Okay, not bad. I fell out of love with Umbrella Academy. Because I watched the first season, kind of half watched the second season, and I kind of just like lost interest. Whether that was because of the time travel or not, I don't know. But maybe it's better in execution than I think. But I like how they did it in Loki. Because it's kind of like an outside time perspective. I think it's just, if you're doing time travel, it gets very messy. So you need to have a thing with it. Like Terminator also has time travel, and I think the Terminator movies are pretty critically acclaimed, so like, but their thing is a lot of like going back in time to protect somebody who is important in the future, and it's like, well, if they are alive in the future, then we already know how this is going to go, but it is the suspense. Or if it's like they could die in the future and we're preventing that by doing this, or we're trying to alter the course of history like that. It gets messy. It gets messy, which is why I don't touch time travel a lot. And why we never cover it in Mythrill, aside from the fact that Atmosphere did it. It's messy. But it's a great example of me filling plot holes and trying to tie people to the main narrative to be like, this could be interesting. Other things I try to do with that was like tying Moon's mother to Atmosphere through making her sister related to one of the characters. Charlie's entire backstory was tied to Atmosphere, because she wanted to have amnesia and didn't really mind what I did with her character. Outside of that stuff, Illura, Rose's wings, like we covered in lore today, was like a whole thing of, I was like, okay, Rose is a fairy who doesn't have wings, and I think that was partially because like they didn't start off with an elytra, and I was like, oh, okay, let's work that into the story a bit, or maybe Rose suggested it, I don't quite remember. And then I was like, okay, here's how they're gonna get their wings, because I knew the auction was gonna happen, and I thought it'd be really fucked up if they had to sell their soul for their wings. And that was one of the first things I came up with, because it was all about tying things together. And Mars put himself forward to lose his soul because he had this whole sickness thing going on, and then I suggested that Katie also lose her soul because her, Mars, and Rose had all been doing stuff together a lot. And I was like, then we get 3 people plus Panky, and then it's interesting. Yeah, my point is, I have a very narrative brain, and it's good for storytelling and plot, but it doesn't work as well for an SMP where people all do lore live, because it means that like I get into situations like we are now where in order to fulfill the quota for what the finale is going to be, we kind of need a couple of things to happen beforehand. And they're not little things, they're kind of like big things. And we know they're going to happen, and we know they have to happen, but now we have to wait on them happening. So yeah, I feel like it's very hard. I feel like if I wanted to get a good handle on like running an SMP, I should probably like watch Pirate SMP, that Owen's Juice did. Because I've seen Outsiders, but I didn't watch Outsiders when it first came out. And I think Outsiders is like, and this isn't saying that it's a bad SMP because it's not, but I mean like it's a weaker example of based on how it's run, because there's a lot of bits in like the full thing where Owen is just alone, or there is like just one person there for a thing that feels like there should be more people, and it's probably just because like they were the only people online at that moment, unless they were like doing something really big, which did happen pretty often. But I feel like Rats and Pirates got a better hang of that, but I also haven't watched both of them in full, so I could just be talking out of my ass. But I wanna look at those, and this is why like Black Cat, or well, their Stellar Studio now, all of their RPs are like they take place over the course of like a week or two, because short time frame people do more stuff, and they're all like, we're doing the things are happening at these time slots. Be there or don't do anything. And because it's a lot like shorter time frame, people do stuff a lot, so it's like they have like a lot of planning on the back end, but no planning for the people streaming, really. I think except for like a few scenarios from like my passive observation and the people I know who've been a part of it. Hello, Chris Chilzo. Oh my god, it's one of the best men ever. I have 3 men who are like the top tier, and it's Chris Chilzo, Mars Marzaki, and I forgot who the third one is. It's not my dad. He doesn't get that privilege. Who am I feeling today? Leon Kennedy. Yes, Leon Kennedy makes my men list. The men ever. The free... The only 3 men to ever exist. Chris Chilzo, Mars Marzaki, and Leon Kennedy. I think I'm very correct. I think I'm very correct. I think I'm just very, very correct. I miss you, Chris Chilzo. Abroad or and come back to men. Chris Chilzo! Christopher Chillington, as I call him. I've only like said that to like 5 people before. I just think it's funny to making people's names fancy, especially when they're British. It's Chilsington. Man, we're talking about Mythrill and story and narrative stuff, because I like writing. And how I do narrative writing probably doesn't work well for SMPs, and yet I've run one for 3 years. And I think that's funny. Christoph Chillington, yes. Christoph Chillington. The one and only. Oh, the one and only, the one and only. But yeah, I have an idea for a book. I've had a lot of ideas for a book. I tried to write a superhero-based book a couple years ago, but I kept just restarting the first chapter because I was never happy with it. And I think I just didn't have like a great time with it. You know how my writing comes off to it was very confusing. It comes to me in moments and it just goes just as quick. That's fair. I have that with stuff. I think I think it really depends. Sometimes I will have a very vivid idea for certain scenes, and sometimes I will have, like, not a clear vision, but I'll know all of the important story beats, which is what I'm at right now. I'm low-key planning a book. And anyone on my private Twitter would have seen I was asking for name suggestions. Or, well, I had 3 names up on the chopping block that I was struggling to pick between. I'm actually going to check right now, because I think I know which name won. But I'm going to check right now to see if I'm incorrect. I am correct. The name I thought won. There was 3 names on there. See, my only problem with it is I feel like readers won't be able to read it. It's the name Psyche, which is from Greek mythology. Now, chat. How do you spell Psyche? And this isn't like the psychology term. This is the name. I feel like it's hard. I'll show you a snippet of a story I was writing. I don't think so. I don't think you did. Give me Chris. I'll read it after stream. Lucky. Oh! Chad is correct. Maybe that is how you normally spell it. Evan, I love you. Evan, I love you because you're so me. Aren't they a god or something? Oh, let me tell you the mythology because I love this. Also, everyone who enjoys mythology of any kind, you should 100% check out the YouTube channel Overly Sarcastic Productions. Also feels like writing because they have a whole trope talk series and they give you examples from existing media. A lot of the examples are Avatar, The Last Airbender. But it's really interesting from like a narrative perspective to know all of these different tropes that exist in media that you either might not have heard before or might not have had elaborated before. I also used the videos on Macbeth for my school stuff. So there's also that, and there's history, but I don't watch the history videos. I probably should. Great videos though. So Psyche. Actually, back up a little bit. Actually, no, Psyche's perfect place to start. So Psyche was a beautiful mortal woman. She wasn't, I guess it depends on the versions, but the one that I'm familiar with, she wasn't like super important or like royalty or anything. She could be a princess in some versions, maybe. I don't remember. But main priority, Psyche was a beautiful, gorgeous woman, so pretty that her beauty was equated with Aphrodite, the goddess of beauty and love. And some people started worshipping Psyche instead of Aphrodite, which, as you could imagine, royally pissed Aphrodite off, and had the added, not benefit, but the added, like, circumstance of making Psyche incredibly lonely because people saw her as so beautiful and held her on such a high pedestal that they just would not approach her. They've treated her like a goddess in the sense that they just would not approach her, and they thought that no one was good enough for her, so she was just really lonely. She just wanted somebody to love her, and, like, everyone was too intimidated by how pretty she was. And then there's Aphrodite, who wants to kill her. So Aphrodite was like, to punish this mortal who had no say over people starting to worship her instead of me, I'm gonna make her fall in love with a hideous monster. So Aphrodite gets her son Eros, also known as Cupid, and says, go make her fall in love with a horrible monster. And so Eros goes to Psyche while she's asleep, and then the dumbass that he is stabs himself with one of his love arrows and falls in love with her. And I think he drops his arrows and leaves. And then Psyche also stabs. Wait, no, wait. That's late. Okay, yeah. Eros stabs himself with his love arrows, falls in love with Psyche, runs off, and then one way or another, Psyche gets carted off by the West Wing or Zephyr or something to a beautiful mansion where she is forced to marry a quote-unquote monster. This monster is invisible, and she is told that they will never see each other. It's not allowed. But Psyche lives it up. Like, her monster husband is the nicest guy ever. Like, they really hit it off. They like each other a lot. She lives in luxury. She's pretty happy with her circumstance until her sisters come to visit and are jealous and convince her that she should find out the identity of her monster boyfriend. Wasn't her story in the novel that translate to the golden ass? Maybe. I'm going off of the overly sarcastic production video that I watched because it's a great summary. But Psyche's sisters convince her to go find out the monster's identity. They also both, I think, fall off a cliff and die afterwards. Which isn't great for them, but who cares? And Psyche goes to see her monster husband whilst he's asleep. and then finds out that it's Eros, really hot god dude, and stabs herself with one of his arrows by accident. So now they're both in love with each other. But she also has a dagger because her sisters also convinced her to maybe kill the monster that she was supposed to marry. And then she slips and accidentally, like, lightly stabs him, and he freaks out, even though he's a god. He's just being a baby, and he runs away. And then Aphrodite is doubly pissed at her because not only is she prettier than her, and people are worshipping her instead, but Psyche also just stabbed her son on accident. So Aphrodite decides it's time for some, revenge. And her decision is to give Psyche some impossible trials that will hopefully end up with her being killed. And the first trial is to sort a bunch of grain that is just on the ground. She has to sort it apart and all this stuff. And Psyche is basically a Disney princess, so the ants help her, and she handles the first challenge very easily. The second challenge is to grab a piece of a golden fleece that is being held over a dangerous river. And I think an eagle or Zeus or something intervenes to help her with that task, and she gets the bit of golden fleece. Actually, no, the original fleece was, like, on a sheep, but if she went to the sheep, she'd be killed, so she had to go down the river to get some, and then that was dangerous, and then the eagle got it for her. And then the final thing she was supposed to do was go to the underworld. Literally, Aphrodite told Psyche to go to hell. Yeah. And she was to go to Persephone in the underworld and ask for a little bit of her beauty. And Persephone gives Psyche a box, and Psyche takes it out of the underworld and is going to go to Aphrodite, and she's been doing all of this under the guise that, like, once she does these challenges, she'll get to see Eros again because, she's in love with him. And Eros, during all of this, is being held, like, captive by his mother. She's just like, no, son, you can't leave Olympus. I'm dealing with this vile woman. And so Psyche's like, I'm on my way to go and see my boyfriend. Yeah, it's great. I'm on my way to go see my boyfriend. I have a box of beauty, and I'm really, like, dirty and rumpled after doing all these challenges for Aphrodite because she keeps fucking punching me. Equivalent, basically. Just keeps smashing her face in the dirt. Probably not actually doing that, but equates to it. So she's like, why don't I just open this box of beauty and dull myself off a bit and then go see my boyfriend? So she opens the box of beauty, and instead of beauty inside, it's death. And she dies. Psyche dead. She's gone. And whilst Aphrodite is happily celebrating, Eros is not very pleased that his wife has just been killed by his mother. So he goes down to where she is, magics her back to life, and then gives her some ambrosia, which makes, like, mortals gods. Basically, it can make them, like, immortal, and she becomes a god. And Psyche, there are a couple of mortals who become gods in Greek mythology. I think Hercules is one of them, or Heracles in the Greek version, as his name is. Psyche is the only woman. She's the only human mortal who becomes a god at the end of her story, which is awesome. I don't remember what Psyche is. Actually, we'll Google it. I don't know what Psyche is the god of. Greek god. I want to say it's like, she's the goddess of the soul. Is what it says, and Eros is specifically the god of desire. He's also got a lot of, like, deeper lore connotations. There's a great deep dive on YouTube about it. Yes, you're right. And the two of them live happy god lives and eventually have a daughter called Idone, who name means joy, or could be the goddess of joy. Something like that. But yeah. TLDR, Aphrodite gets jealous about a mortal for being prettier than her, sends her son to deal with it. Her son does not deal with it falls in love with the girl, doesn't let her know that he's a god. She tries to kill him thinking he's a monster. And then Aphrodite punishes Psyche for trying to do that, which I think is pretty reasonable, in all honesty. Psyche dies, Eris brings her back to life, they have a kid, happily ever after. Joy from Inside Out, fucking maybe, she's got blue hair and pronouns. She glows, I might as well. Greek brain rot is still strong. We love Greek brain rot. We love Greek brain rot. I've got so much, like, you do not understand how much I want to do a Greek mythology SMP one day. But my whole point earlier was that, like, I'm so narratively brained. I don't know if I should continue running, like, RP SMPs, make them, like, full-on fucking productions, or just do, like, YouTube videos of them. Like, I know I want to do more stuff in the future, but I don't know how I want to do it. I love the full part of her Shireen sheep, yeah. The thing with Greek myths as well, there's a lot of different versions, and this of any mythology, honestly. There's so many different, like, versions and retellings and translations and all of these different things. So you've really got to root around, and there's also a lot of, like, context of the time. Because a lot of the Greek characters are really shit, and a lot of, like, their stories, like, who collected them and wrote about them, really will, like, paint how they are. Like, I found out, everyone knows about the story of Medusa, and how, Poseidon did some bad things to her in Athena's temple, which Medusa did not want to happen, and Athena couldn't punish Poseidon, so punished Medusa instead and made her a Gorgon. And it's very fucked from, like, a modern day perspective. But I found out that the author who originally wrote that story down had a massive problem with authority, and therefore decided that he was going to write a bunch of, like, the Greek myths, like, almost villainizing the gods. And, like, showing them punishing mortals who, for, like, being creative and, like, geniuses. Like, another one of them was, I can't remember who, but Athena turns her into a spider because she loses a weaving contest. And it's very complicated. The sheep tear someone apart and went to inhale a lot of water from the river, but the spirit of the river said, "You're not dirtying my river, piss off." Agneal, yes, her. Yes. Other character you made for the secret thing. Then my silly guy. I have, like, some minor ideas for her in your thing, Chris, but I don't know what is going on with that, so I haven't really put any of them down because I'm like, I need details, and then I brainstorm. I'm very good at I have a very creative brain. I can do things with many things. I like making OCs. I never used to like making OCs. My first OC was a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles OC. Which was very, very funny because I didn't know what OCs were at the time. I never drew them, but I've been very into OC making recently because I've been redrawing my Spider Sona, and then I also made a Lego Monkey Kid OC. And if you guys like mythology, you should read Journey to the West. It is just fucking grab bag collection of Chinese myths, or like just events that happened on like the bigger encompassing myth that is the Journey to the West. And it is also the inspiration for Lego Monkey Kid, which I cannot stress how this is one of the best children's cartoons that I have ever seen narratively. And I'm gonna give you guys a treat. I'm gonna very, very briefly explain each season of Lego Monkey Kid. There are 5 seasons. The 5th season literally newly released. Bluey. Okay. Bluey, yes. Bluey is about telling a message, though. Like, Bluey teaches me life skills I wish someone had taught me, like, sooner, because other cartoons were inadequate. Lego Monkey Kid, it has a couple of life lessons, but it's mainly a narrative-based thing, especially, like, the further you get into it, and I love it. It's also mythology, and I have a hyperfixation with mythology, so it's perfect, but... Okay, Lego Monkey Kid Season 1 is Monster of the Week adventure. Like, you're very classic. We are doing different hijinks, fighting different things, hanging out with different characters. And it's got, like, an underlying current of, like, a couple characters get expanded on, but not a lot. It's like, it's your typical, this is a kid's cartoon first season. We've got to make it basic. But it does have a through line. It does actually have a through line. And I'll say it now. Seasons 1 through 2 build up the primary villain of Season 3. Actually, the main villain of Season 3. From Season 1, they are built up until you reach Season 3. Hello, Cass. Hello, welcome. We're talking about Lego Monkey Kid because it's my hyperfixation right now. They build up this villain through 3 seasons for a kid's show, and it is amazing. But yeah, Season 1 is very Monster of the Week adventure, classic style, just getting familiar with the characters, and it's very, very cute. Yeah, it's great. Every season is 10 episodes, and every season has a special apart from Season 5. Season 1 and 2 have a special at the start, which is A Hero is Born for Season 1, and then The Revenge of the Spider Queen for Season 2. And then Season 3 and 4 both have specials at the end, which is a bit confusing, because on the website I watched them on, they have it out of order, which is weird. But anyway, back to the details. So, also, Hero is Born has a couple different continuity things, because it's also the pilot. It's a 40-minute pilot. So some of the little things in that aren't, like, the same going forward. Mainly the circlet MK gets in, like, the final fight. That isn't a thing later on. But anyway, Season 1 is Monster of the Week. Season 2 is a mix of Monster to the Week and almost a mystery plot, because most of the mystery is, like, we know that this villain that they are building up is here in the background doing things. We've already seen her as of the end of Season 1 and the Revenge of the Spider Queen movie. But we don't really know what she is doing, what her deal is, and more importantly, the characters don't know. And the only character who does know has disappeared. So it's like piecing together what is happening, what is doing, in a way that is like, the viewer knows, but the characters don't, and when one of the characters realizes something is wrong, his reaction to realizing isn't to get all of his friends in on this potential new threat. It's like, he is just, I can't even, it's too good. He goes into a spiral of self-worth issues. And he's like, I need to be strong enough that I can face this threat by myself, and I will not tell anyone that this threat exists because I am terrified of it. And then it backfires royally. And then Season 3 is that threat is at large. We have to go on a journey to the west to find a power source strong enough to beat her, whilst also being pursued by while also being pursued by, like, someone working for her, and having to deal with whoever the fuck else and whatever other hijinks we come across along the way. They also have some villains who get, like, quote-unquote redeemed, or it's more so they get beat and then slowly transition into just being, like, background character, like, almost friends. And it's really cute because of, like, their inspirations from the actual mythology. 2 of them are the only characters who actually get a redemption in Journey to the West that I've seen, so it's actually smart. And then the Season 3 special is probably one of my favorite animated things I have ever seen. And I love it. Also, there's also a mystery in season 3 when they're trying to find this power, because one character keeps getting fucking like weird visions that she can't make sense of, and they're horrifying. Also, characters die. There's a villain who gets killed off, in like a safe for children way, but she is just dead. And it's great. And then season 4, they have dealt with the threat. They have been through that event. And MK, the main character, our sweet baby boy, he says verbatim, "I like the world as it is, thanks. I'd rather it stays like this." And when it doesn't stay like that, he just wants to go back to his Monster of the Week adventures, and he literally says that verbatim. And he's like, I just want things to go back to how they were in season 1, where it was silly, and I was learning all these new things and having this cool power and talking to my idol. I just want to go back to that. And then he can't. And then he is shown irrefutably that his, like, he said he has a thing of he will play dumb to lessen the blow of situations or to lighten the mood. And that also has the added effect of him just choosing not to think about things that could be stressful or that he doesn't really understand. And that ends up being a really big issue, because then he's confronted with one of those things that he did not think about and then has to think about it. And that does not really make any sense out of context, but it leads to him having to fucking fight God. And he is like anywhere between 16 and 24. There is no confirmed age for this kid. He is just called a kid. And in season 5, I have not watched yet, because it has only just released in English as of like 3 days ago, and it is not on the website that I watch it on yet, and I refuse to watch it anywhere else because they're gonna be shitter quality. But it is a straight continuation from season 4. But we may have skipped a few steps there. What do you watch it on? Well, some of it is on Amazon. Season 1 and 2, as well as the Hero is Born pilot episode, which is the first thing you watch, then season 1, then Revenge of the Spider Queen, and then season 2. That's all on Amazon. If you have Prime or any of that stuff, you can watch it on Amazon. Thank you, Bailey, for the raid. Thank you so much. We're talking about Lego Monkey Kid because I fucking love it. I don't know if Twitch would like me sharing the place that I watch it on. So I will tell you guys what. Check my Discord, and I will make a thing in my Discord where you can see where I watch it. Unfortunately, there is one thing not on that site, and it is the Revenge of the Spider Queen movie, which is pivotal to the plot, so you have to watch it somewhere. You might be able to find it on YouTube or on another website, but it is on Amazon, and that's where I watched that. I realize I am still in a VC. I was just deafened in it. So let me actually go through my Discord. I'm gonna go in the conversation topic thread, and I'm gonna make a Lego Monkey Kid one. If people want, I can always do a watch party in my Discord for Lego Monkey Kid, because every season, to get through season 1 till 4 took me like 7 hours. Every season is like, every episode is 10 minutes. Every season has 10 episodes, which is just over an hour. So it's about 2 hours per season because the specials are 40 minutes. So that's quite a commitment. But we could maybe do a day of like, we watch A Hero is Born, or maybe just do like a marathon of season 1 and then come back another day for a marathon of season 2. It's all about like 2 hours per thing. Season 5 does not have a special. And wait, I need to find the appropriate picture for this thing. But from what I haven't watched season 5 yet. What I've been hearing about season 5 is it is controversial in the sense that the animation studio has changed and is an obvious downgrade in quality compared to the wonderful, brilliant, artistic animation that Flying Bark made originally for the show. Flying Bark also did Rise of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They are doing the new Avatar movie that is coming out. They have done work for Cult of the Lamb. They're very, very good at what they do. They've also did if you're a Sonic fan, they did the Maria and Shadow animation that's been going around recently. They did that. Very, very amazing animation studio. Season 5 of Lego Monkey Kid is not by them. It is by Wild Brain, who have done like Lego Ninjago and some work on Sonic Prime. But it's different, you know. It doesn't look as good. But the voice acting is peak. Also, Matt Mercer's in season 5. Also, Alejandro Saab, who like Sino and the other guy from Star Rail, the VTuber man, Sayu. He starts voicing a character in season 4 because the original voice actor sadly passed away. And it's very sad, but it means we get Alejandro in season 4 of Monkey Kid, and he's great. Also in season 5, and his voice work is amazing, and he's one of my favorite characters. Also, the same voice actor for Sokka and the main character of the Dragon Prince voices MK, the main character of Thingamabob, and other actors who I don't remember the name of. Okay, but I'm making a Lego Monkey Kid channel there, and then so I watch it on FYI, the Spider Queen movie, start of S2 is not on here unless you pay and embrace your destiny. Special is out of order. Watch it at the end of season 3 and not before. And then I will get a McQuack smile. And then you can all go and watch. It's a great site for watching cartoons, anime, whatever you can think of, really. But also it's on Amazon, so I'll say that. Oh, watch the VOD though. Thank you. Yeah, we did like lore for like 30 minutes, and then I've just been talking about what I've been doing in life, and I'd realize I've just spent like an extra hour talking about just shows that I've been watching, and now I'm on Lego Monkey Kid, which is a terrible experience for you guys because I love this show too much. Another thing that Overly Sarcastic Production does is they have a ongoing series, which has been going on for 7 years, of summarizing the most like juicy and interesting parts of the Journey to the West story. Because it is a very long thing. The Journey to the West is like the Odyssey and the Iliad and like every Greek epic put together in just one thing, but like China's equivalent. It is the story of a monk who is sent on a journey from the east to the west to get some stuff from the Buddha and then take it back to the east, and he is joined by a ragtag group of demons, and it's also an allegoric journey of enlightenment. We're showing me Ruby fights. Oh my god, I love Ruby. Oh my god, Ruby. I love Ruby. I have a Ruby AU in my head, which I go fuck Blake's volume 5 and 4 and 5 story, make it Journey to the West because her best friend is Sun Wukong. Like that's literally the character inspiration for Sun is the Monkey King, and it's Journey to the West, guys. I love Journey to the West. OSP, I love them. I love OSP. They have a 7-year running summary series for Journey to the West that isn't fucking over, and I love it because it's drawn and it's pretty and the stories are fun, and I should really, really read the book. You like the red woman Mars likes? You like Cinder? I like Cinder. I like Cinder a lot. Ruby is my trash show, and it will always be my trash show because I love it, and there is so much potential, but they don't really utilize that potential because it was an indie project that got way too big for its boots and picked up by people. But I'm really hopeful because I think I talked about this before. Ruby was owned by Rooster Teeth, who was then bought by another company who was owned by Warner Brothers. And then Warner Brothers, about 2 or so months ago, declared on Twitter that they were shutting the parent company down, which meant that Ruby was shutting down, or Rooster Teeth was shutting down, and that Ruby was abandoned. But at Anime Expo, they confirmed that Ruby, with all of the voice actors and the staff and everyone who'd already been part of it, is now under Viz Media. Which is great, because not only has Viz worked with Ruby before and stuff with the original maker of the show, who passed on many years ago, rest in peace, Montium, and has done like, what is it called? Manga work for them. They are also the people who did like Sailor Moon. and wait, let me look up Viz Media. Because they have done a lot of stuff. They have done Inuyasha movie, Sailor Moon movie, Naruto movie. They've done Bleach, probably another movie. They know their like animes and stuff. I'm very hopeful, even though the writing team for Ruby is the same, that they're being guided by people who care and who are cool. Oh, they also have Jujutsu Kaisen on here, and One Piece. And Shonen Jump. That might be manga things they release. Legend of Zelda. My Hero Academia? They do fucking everything. I think they're mostly known for manga publishing. But they do animations and stuff as well. The Twitter has been so funny because they did like a post of, it's our first day at Viz Media, guys. And then the Viz account replied, Ruby broke our microwave. And I thought that was really funny. It's really cute. It's really cute. But they've been picked up, and there's no confirmation on when the next season of Ruby is, which is going to be volume fucking 10. But I'm excited. They've done, like, vague leaks of the new designs for the characters, because every 3 seasons they get new designs. Has kind of been, like, the staple thing. And I'm so looking forward to them replacing Weiss's design. The braid is not it. Season 7, it was lumpy and ugly. They fixed it in season 8, but it still wasn't it, Chief. And now she's going back to the ponytail, and that's what I need. That's what I need. But yeah, I'm excited for the future of Ruby. It's my trash show. But one thing that I love about shows which, like, aren't good is that they have a lot of potential for, like, fanfiction. That being said, Ruby fanfiction is atrocious. I don't think I have found, like, a genuinely, like, good Ruby fanfiction ever. I found one which was, like, decent, but it was nothing to write home about, and I haven't been able to find it since. I have, like, a scale of, like different media to look at for fanfiction and what you can probably find there. Honestly, if you're looking for an original story on like AO3, Dream SMP fanfiction is actually usually just, let's take the names and like personalities of the people from the Dream SMP and put them into an actual book. And sometimes it's really good, and sometimes it's really bad, but sometimes it's really good. That is the only reason why I actually read Dream SMP fanfiction anymore. But I used to, and that was the only reason why, was because people would just write like books which they could have sold in like libraries and bookstores, just but it's for free online. I was like, hell yeah, this is actually good. Um, I mean, I guess you could say that about anything, but I have like a quality scale for anything on AO3, and I have like pet peeves. I have pet peeves. If it's a first person perspective, hate it. If you don't break up your paragraphs, hate it. Minor thing, if you use the same descriptive word twice in a singular paragraph, I hate you. Don't like if you refer to like a view as gorgeous and then refer to a person in that same paragraph as also being gorgeous, I'm going to be annoyed. There are more words in the vocabulary of the English lexicon that you can use. But no, that's just me and my little writing quirks. Yeah. For a dyslexic person, I'm very opinionated on writing. But I love Ruby because it has so much potential, and so many unanswered questions sometimes that you can just do whatever you want with it. Lexicon, yes, a lexicon is another word for the dictionary. It's just a fancier word. I'm gonna Google what the definition of lexicon. Also, it's Lexicon, lexicon. Which is the vocabulary of a person, language, or branch of knowledge. Also, a dictionary, especially of Greek, Hebrew, or Arabic stuff. So it's just a dictionary, basically. It's just a dictionary, but a fancy word. There's like a meme sound on I think it was originally a Tumblr. I think it was originally a Tumblr thing, but it also became a sound on TikTok briefly, where they said to somebody like, "Oh, you can't make a sentence without the letter A in it or something." And then they used the word lexicon because they were bragging about how vast the vocabulary was and couldn't use the word alphabet or vocabulary because they both have A's in them and lexicon doesn't. You know that I'm trying to say. It's okay. We're both dyslexic, Evan. We both understand. We have the brain still sometimes. Yeah, I just like writing and I just like stories. I don't want to talk about it a lot. For like the past like 2, maybe 3 years, I've had like a really fun idea for a podcast that I would love to do. But the problem is I either need a co-host or I'd need to have like a guest every single episode, which I think is how some podcasts operate. But I have such the banger idea. Hearing your voice after so long, I always find your voice soothing. Oh, I'm so glad. My voice is getting a little bit scratchy because I've been talking for so long and I haven't talked in a while. This actually has made me feel a lot better about streaming again because I forget how I wouldn't say I'm good at streaming, but I forget how good I am at talking. Because I don't talk to people a lot. And that like I don't want to go into like my mental health stuff and like deep shit like that on the internet. But I think just like the way that I was raised, I was very safeguarded against the internet in the sense that I had unlimited access to it so long as I never interacted directly. Like I could watch a video on YouTube or I could have a Pinterest or I could have like a Instagram, but I was only allowed to interact with people who I knew in person or who my parents knew, which meant most of the time I just didn't interact with people. And I also didn't get a phone until like a lot later than a lot of people that I knew. So I never really figured out how to like message people casually. And I still really struggle with it. Like there's only really 1 or 2 people who I will randomly message because I'm on the comfort level where I don't feel like I'll be bothering them if I do that. On the flip side, if somebody has my contact, like if somebody has access to my DMs, I'm always happy to hear from anybody. Cause on Discord especially, I have like friends on. So only people who are my friends can message me. If I'm friended you on Discord, I will be ecstatic to hear from fucking anybody. Like even if it's just something fucking stupid. I just like being thought of. I just like being thought of, but I'm very bad at reaching out to people, and then I don't talk to people. And I'm also like, I won't join a VC unless I'm already like, I either need to be the first person in a VC or I need to be invited to a VC or have like a reason to go into the VC. Otherwise I feel like I'm intruding or I get scared. So yeah, I'm just an anxious person. I'm just an anxious person is how to put that. So I don't really talk a lot. They are though, they are. It makes me so scared of everything. When I was in London for that concert, me and Charlie couldn't figure out what train line to get back to the train station we had to be at to get our train home at night, and it was like almost midnight. And I was like, we should just ask somebody, because we can tell some of these people came from the concert we came from. And that's the safest thing. If you have gone to a concert and you either recognize somebody there, like around you, who was also from that concert, or like looks like they were from that concert, because you can usually tell if someone's from a concert you've been to. Like they'll be wearing some weird shit or have dyed hair or like wearing a band shirt. They're always the safest people to ask if you have a problem. And we couldn't figure out how to get home, and I just could not bring myself to ask these two very harmless looking people if they knew what train we should be getting on. So Charlie had to do it for me. We both have like anxiety, but Charlie's a lot better about being social than I am. So it's very funny. It's very funny. I think it's a pretty common thing nowadays though for like my generation or even just people with anxiety. So I'm not too beat up about it. It's just a little bit debilitating. But hopefully I'll be getting therapy soon, so that'll work out great. I'm very happy about that. It only took like 2 months to finally have the person I've been talking to be like, yeah, you need therapy. And I'm like, yay, finally. Burped. But yeah, that's enough of the mental crisis talk for this episode of my life. I don't even know what music is playing right now. I'm gonna be honest. Oh, it's just gone like random stuff. Oh, Friday Pilots Club! Yay! I don't listen to these guys a lot, but I like them. I realized we were listening to I Know How But They Found Me, and it's just started like autoplay random people now. But I'm good with it. I'm happy with it. New Angel, thank you. Yeah, my throat just did a funny thing. Happens sometimes. But yeah, the point that I started this whole thing with was I want to write a book, and I have like, I wrote out last night the plot of the first book. And here's like a tip for like people who are writing something that is supposed to be narratively structured, right? Start with like 3 main bullet points of the things you want to happen. Like Mythrill as an example, like arc 1, Karma encourages people to find the books about the valley's history in a tricksy fucking way. And then you have arc 2, Allura attempts to steal people's souls in order to ascend to godhood. And then arc 3, Warren imprisons everyone in the valley with the intent to destroy the place and afterwards the world. Those are your 3 major beats, the 3 kind of incidents which like you're either building up towards or are the things that are going on. And then underneath those bullet points, you elaborate. And you can keep going into like subsections if you need more details. Like, the way that I would probably suggest to do it is you have those 3 bullet points, and each of those 3 bullet points gets at least 3 bullet points of their own of what happens to do those things. And then you can expand below those bullet points more and go on and on. What I did with the thing that I'm planning is I just did 3 bullet points, and then I did like a long chain of bullet points underneath. Now you'd win. I mean, Chris Chilzo should win everything. Chris Chilzo is the loveliest man. So very cool. So very cool. Ba, 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 ba. But yeah, my point is you bullet point things out in like manageable bits that you can understand in whatever way appeals to your brain the most. But I'm a visual person, but I can't really do mood boards. Or I can do mood boards, but like mainly for character design. So just like having stuff written out in like small sections, and then my brain can expand on like the minor details into bigger concepts. And I've got like an entire first book written out, and then how that leads into the second one, and then the overarching thing of the third. And I'm like, ooh boy, I've done a thing. And I've got characters and their relationship dynamics, and like not full world building, but a lot of like the main crux of the story is the world building. And it's stuff that I just had for fucking years and like got inspiration for this year. But I just want to get into writing more because I realized when I was writing those fucking Mythrill fanfics, I actually really enjoy writing. And I enjoy when people enjoy my writing, I guess is the bigger thing. And I don't know what the fuck I'm doing with my life, so I might as well write a book. But then I have a lot of like ideas, but then motivation to actually start writing is a whole different thing. I like the world building stuff, and I like that, but actual stories are hard. Yeah, exactly. And I think you can have like really vivid, broad ideas for a character and what you want their personality to be like and what you want their backstory to be like, but how that relates to what your plot isn't always a big thing people can think of. Like I said, my massive story documents that I've had have usually been like, okay, I want a story which is like, example, one of the stories that I have came to me because I was like, we have a lot of like chosen one stories. What if there was a thing which was a chosen one story, but our primary character was not the chosen one or did not appear to be the chosen one and was just helping the chosen one along? And what would something from that perspective be? And how could you subvert that into like more interesting stuff by centering a story on who should largely be a side character, and making them the primary source of that story negates the point of them being a side character, but it's also a fun like creative space, I feel, especially because that particular story was like a Final Fantasy kind like type game in my head. I've had ideas for just like very stray, like I want a story where we have a fucking me trying to think of things off the top of my head from what I can remember. I want a story with this character who is a rich girl with a bad parents, and she gets a necklace whilst at a museum that gets broken into that gives her superpowers, and she has this whole like trauma and family problems and all of this stuff. What the fuck is the plot though? I don't know. I have her character and the inciting incident, none of the plot. So there's a lot of like, you can start a story from any angle, and it can be really, really difficult when you have like one really strong part to it, but none of the other pieces. So I feel like noting down what you have and seeing what you can expand and seeing what can be interesting with that is always really fun. And if you need a creative exercise, write a fan fiction. I'm not fucking kidding you. Writing Mythrill fan fiction has like given me such like, I can write. And it's also just a fun brain exercise of taking characters from one media and being like, what if we put them into this situation? Or what if we changed a couple aspects of this character and how would that affect the plot? Like, when I was talking about My Hero Academia earlier, I was talking about how it has some of the most impressive fanfiction works I have ever seen because of, like, just the actual landmine of potential that the show is, because of its primary concept, which is a boy with no powers is given powers and wants to become a hero while facing off against these villains. It's a very simple concept, but because of the nature of the story and how the first episode goes, there's a lot of extra potential there. Because he is mercilessly bullied to a dangerous degree until he gets that power. And that bullying continues from that same person throughout a lot of the show. And people run with it. Like, sometimes people go, oh, Izuku Midoriya is quirkless and he never gets a quirk. And this is what happens in this universe where he never gets a quirk. Or sometimes they go, he is quirkless and he joins the villains. Or he is quirkless but he does a Batman and becomes a vigilante because he's really smart and he doesn't need a quirk. Or they'll go, he was never quirkless to begin with. He just had like a weird, like, his power was something that wasn't evident until a certain criteria is met. And that usually, it's really dark, but that usually revolves around him either having an immortality quirk or something ghost related. There's a really funny, what we call a crack ship. Not ship, that is a thing, a crack fic, which is basically a fan fiction that is written because the author thinks that it is funny and it is meant to kind of be chaotic and a little bit nonsensical, but it can also have a plot. And I read one of those. I don't remember what the name of it is. No quirk and became a villain. There's a lot of those. Like, you can find that on AO3 very easily. It has a filter system. I think the tags are literally like Izuku Midoriya, or either quirkless Izuku Midoriya or Izuku Midoriya has no quirk, and then villain Izuku Midoriya. Or you can just do one of them, and it's very, very easy to look into. But there's a really funny crack fic where Midoriya had a quirk to begin with. He still gets All Might's quirk, like in the main show. It's the same as the main show. But he wasn't quirkless. His quirk was just that he could see ghosts. Archive of Our Own. AO3 is what it's abbreviated to. Archive of Our Own. If you just type in fanfiction website, it'll come up. It's my favorite. It's the best cataloged one. Fanfiction.net is probably my second pick, but AO3. I've swapped and I've never gone back. It's just better filtering systems, honestly. Just make sure you read tags, and you can also exclude filters. So make sure you check and you remove anything that you're not comfortable with. There is a lot of explicit work on AO3. Also, fun thing, if something says dead dove do not eat, it is a reference to the tag is a reference to a TV show, and it's basically like, it's in the show there is a bag which says dead dove do not eat on it, and the person opens the fridge, pulls out the bag, and there's a dead dove inside, and it's like it says what it is on the tin is basically what it means. And that means whatever tags that the fic is giving you, it means them. And it does not mean them in a half sense. It does not mean them in a minor sense. It means them in the fullest extent. It is a dead dove. Do not eat it. And it's like, things are gonna get rocky. If I see that tag, I have to really pay attention and be like, okay, do I want to read something with this stuff in it? But I feel like it's not a really obvious one, so I'm explaining it here. But yeah, the fic that I was talking about, it is literally just, instead of being quirkless, Izuku is listed as quirkless, but his quirk is actually that he can see ghosts. And he has some minor, like, creepy, like, things, like his eyes glow in the dark and stuff, but it's nothing that, like, most people, it's eldritch, kind of. So most people don't realize that it's happening, or it's like a blink and you miss it sort of thing. But it's a hilarious fanfiction. because he's just creepy and then talking to ghosts and not letting people know what he's doing. And it's really funny from what I remember. Beats from your mind. Yeah, yeah. You got it. Like, AO3 is great. It has a great exclusion feature. Just make sure you're reading the tags. Um, and personally, I filter things by bookmarks because when you read a fic, you can bookmark it, which means you save it to your profile. And you can either save it as a recommendation or as a private bookmark, and private ones, obviously, everyone who looks at your page can't see. All of mine are private because I am self-conscious. Or you can give kudos, which is just like liking a piece, and you can give a kudos to like any work that you go on, and it just lists your name as this person gave kudos on the work. But I always filter by bookmarks because I think it's a better sense of like how popular something is by how many people have saved it because they want to go back and read it again. Alternatively, if you're looking for fiction for a piece of media that is rather new, or like for a show but you specifically want stuff from the most recent season of that show, either do it by like newly added or by hits, because hits is like how many people have clicked on it and like theoretically read the piece. Where most of the tags on AO3 unless it was to do with characters. You really should read the tags. You know what? I'm pulling up my phone. I'm gonna look at the last fanfic that I was reading before stream. Which was Constantine's Tournament. Which is a Batman slash like DC Universe x Danny Phantom crossover fic. It's only 2 chapters. It's very short. It's basically Danny Phantom is a ghost. John Constantine deals with magic stuff. Sells his soul to the kid unknowingly. And then Batman gets Tim Drake to find out why, because they're schoolmates. And it's just because John Constantine has sold his soul to too many people, and now when he dies, there's going to be an all-out brawl to see which ghost or demonic entity or fae gets his soul at the end of the day. And it's really funny. It doesn't have a lot of tags. It has no archive warnings apply, which means it's very safe. And then like the characters Tim Drake, Danny Fenton, John Constantine, Bruce Wayne. Why isn't Alfred on here? He shows up in this book. You didn't tag Alfred? How dare you? One of the tags. Magical tax evasion. That is a tag. Ghost King, Danny Fenton, ghosts socialize by fighting. BAMF Danny Fenton, which if you see BAMF, that means badass motherfucker. There's a lot of BAMF Tommy Innit fanfiction, believe it or not, out there. Also Tubbo. Very confused bats, also a tag. Tournaments is also a tag. And then Fenton is Tim's classmate. I saved, sometimes when I find a really great tag on AO3, I screenshot it and save it. On a Persona 5 fanfiction, there was a tag on a fic that just said, "No god is bigger than my anxiety." And I quote that so often. Oh wait, no, it wasn't a tag. It wasn't a tag which I screenshotted. It was an extract from a fanfic that I read that made me laugh. You guys want me to read this? It's another fucking Batman one. Specifically, it's Jason Todd's POV of a conversation with the fucking League.
Boop.
Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna read this because it's the funniest thing I've ever fucking read in a fucking book ever. It goes, "Bloody hell," someone's talking. "Constantine looks like someone just pissed in his cereal right in front of him. Jason would know. He's done it to Dick." Oh my god. Oh wait, I do have a thing. Wait, no, I do have a tag screenshot. Wait, I'm not gonna say what fic this is from because it doesn't fucking matter. But it's two tags on an AO3 fanfiction. The first tag is overstimulation. The second tag is the autism kind, not the sexy type. Oh my fuck. That one took me out. That's why I screenshotted it. It took me out. I'm glad they clarified. Oh my god. Talking about fanfiction on the internet is just really weird because it feels like a minor taboo because it has a bad I feel like fanfiction has a bad reputation. It's like, ooh, you read fan fiction, and then people think of like The Urge, that one Dan and Phil fanfic that they read on their channel, and I think was really horny. And I'm like, no. I mean, there is that exists, yeah, definitely. People read that stuff, but also some of it is just fun storytelling. But it's genuinely a great writing exercise if you want to get into writing but aren't used to writing. This, yeah, wait, let me crop it because it has some other tags in it. Them being angst and heavy angst, and then a character name. Uh, uh, can you let me? Ugh, it won't let me make it smaller. Fine. Ew, this editor is bad. Since when did like my phone editor be a bitch? Okay, yeah. Wait, let me figure this out. Let me figure this out. There we go. Yeah. There we go. I don't even know why I did that. It doesn't fucking matter. Okay, I'll send that to you, Skylar, because that's funny. Da, 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 da. Where is Skylar's contact on my Discord? There you are. I think that's it. Yeah, there you go. I just thought it was funny. It was an I don't even remember the fic actually. It was an angsty one though, because it was just about someone having a meltdown and needing hugs afterwards. It was cute. That's the kind of stuff that I read. Is people being hugged because I didn't get enough hugs as a child. Yeah, of course. I don't care what you do with it. You have it now. It's just a thing from fucking AO3. Go ahead, Skylar. I think it's funny. But no, my point is fanfiction is a great way to both learn about amateur writing because you can read a fanfic and you can tell if it's written well or not. Like if you read enough of them, you can be like, yeah, this is awful. That is okay. Or maybe you just have your own stylistic thing. You can do that from reading normal books as well, obviously, but fanfic is just free online, which is why I read so much of it. Um, but writing a fanfic or even just like a short mini story based on either like your own personal characters, like I've written stuff about Mythrill before, or like OCs that you have, and like you already have an established world. You don't necessarily need a plot if you're just doing like a snippet story. You just need a direction. Like I think the first actual fanfic I ever wrote was Artemis and Apollo baking, and it was just after they had reunited in the lore, and it was like built up as like Apollo being kind of stressed about like being with his sister again and feeling all this like guilt and like having told her that their parents are dead and all of this like bullshit stuff, and then the two of them baking together and being cute and having a really heartfelt moment with each other. And that was the whole point, was okay, L wants baking of Apollo, I'm gonna write something and have Artemis and Apollo bake together. Um, yeah. Honestly, don't set any parameters for yourself. Just be like, if you have an idea that you think is cute, it doesn't have to be long, it doesn't have to be perfect. But if you want to get into writing, it's a lot easier taking something that exists already that you can just repurpose the characters for or write like a scenario for. People write canon compliant snippets all the time. Like, I've seen people write, like, oh, here's a thing that happened in this show in between these seasons, and it's completely like canon compliant to what happens in the show. So this could have happened, but obviously it didn't. And they're really fun. Or you can like throw canon out the window and make somebody a psychopath. Who knows? Who knows? But it's just a great writing exercise. It can get you more used to the flow of writing, without having to do any of the actual legwork of making a character or a world or a plot. Yeah. I felt there's just a weird stigma around fanfiction, and it's like, yeah, no, people write it because they like the media. I started reading fanfiction because I was like, I wanted to experience more of a piece of media, which I loved, and there was no other content out there I could use. And the problem with art is you can look at a piece of art, but it's not going to do anything. It's just going to sit there, and it will be pretty and beautiful, and I love making art, but it's just going to be there. And you can look back on it and you can appreciate it, but attention spans aren't going to let you sit there for an hour looking at that piece of art and give you fulfillment. Pinterest is great because you can make boards for your favorite things and just fill them with thousands of pieces of art and have a great fun day with it. That's what I do. I have a 12,000 fucking pin board of Sonic the Hedgehog art. It's great. Avatar. I like Avatar. Avatar's fun. Oh, my Avatar. I've just been completely thrown off. I have this guy. Hi, I have this guy. I've had them for a while. I don't use them often. They're here though. It's me. Hello. But I started reading fanfiction because I wanted more of a media that I had not gotten to experience. Or I got to experience, but I wanted to experience it more because I was hyperfixating. And it was great because you get to learn a bit about like the people in that fandom without directly interacting with them. Because every fandom has like a niche to it. Every fandom has like a staple that people do in it. And smaller ones are harder to pick apart what it is. Bigger ones, you can find them easier. And sometimes they have weird niches, sometimes they have interesting niches, sometimes it's just a clusterfuck. But it's cool. And it's fun. And it's just, yeah. When there's no other existing media for something, I'll go to fanfiction because it gets my brain stimulated. This is also coming from me, though. And I used to open up the Amazon catalog. Remember when we had catalogs? And look through the toy section and find like Bratzilla dolls in the Amazon catalog and just look at them. Or not the Amazon catalog, the Argos catalog, wow. And I would just look at the Bratzilla dolls and I would make like a 5-page story in my brain just with them because I was bored and didn't have dolls to play with or didn't want to play with the dolls I have, so I would imagine scenarios with the pictures. And sometimes I can do that with like fan art. Not as often. But sometimes you get a really cool AU fan art and I go, fuck, yeah, I'm gonna brainstorm about this specific art piece for like 10 years. Can't think of anything specific off the top of my head. Probably a Sonic one was the last one that I actually brainstormed about. Or a Danny Phantom. I've never watched Danny Phantom, but it is so interesting in proxy. It is so interesting in proxy. Heroes Run the Yoda fanfic on Wattpad based on anime fairy tale. It got a good amount of views and votes, and now I regret deleting it because I don't have writing to compare my writing now to. Aww. That's fair though. Like, I had a fanfic. Well, okay, it wasn't a fanfic. It was an original work posted on Wattpad. I got a couple chapters in, It was something that I just wrote to fill my time during my my Spanish classes, because I didn't take Spanish, but I had to sit in the back of the room and just do my own work anyway because they had nowhere else to put me. It was just a study period for me. So I would write stuff. And it was an original work, but it was heavily inspired by Minecraft Diaries. Like, I kind of just took the cast of Minecraft Diaries, my favorite characters, like gave them new names and designs and slightly different personalities in a different world, and just went with it. And it was bad, and it's been off of there for a long time. And it's probably one of the reasons why I stopped writing for a while, because I got criticism from my mother about it when I was like 11. I was like, why are you criticizing? Like, it's not perfect, it's really shit, but that's not how you should handle that situation. Works too, and I deleted it as well. Aww. But my point is, when you write that stuff and put it out there, like, at first you might think it's the bee's knees, this is the best thing I've ever done. But then eventually you'll look back at it and be like, I don't like this, I'm embarrassed by this, and you're completely valid for removing that. And it's always going to be sad, and you don't think about it in the moment that, oh, I should have saved this because it could have been, like, cool to reference. But you can always make more references. Like, the writing that you do now is going to probably be a lot different from the writing you do like a couple years from now, or like a year from now. And it's hard to do proper comparisons of those things because it will usually just be a style. And writing is a thing that isn't as expressive as art, I would say, because there is a correct way to write, but there is a fun way to write as well. I want to get more into reading books, though, especially because I have a lot of books that I just haven't read. Like, I haven't read Percy Jackson, and I really want to watch the show, but I also want to read the books first. I've only read the first one, and I have the whole book set right now. And I want to just like read it. I want to read it. But just for some reason picking up a book is a lot more difficult. I have my favorite book series, Front of Glass. It's like a high fantasy like story, which gets a bit raunchy near the end. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a big fan of those parts, but man, there's something. They're well written, at the very least. At least most of them. One of the relationships is so shoehorned in, it makes me angry. How long is stream for today? I don't know. I came to do lore. I did the lore in 30 minutes. I haven't streamed in a while. I don't know when I'm going to stream next, so I'm just kind of going on a rant. I feel like I've updated people on what I've been doing, and now I'm just talking about books and writing and fun. 3 hours now. Yeah, I noticed. I probably won't go for much longer because my throat is rather scratchy. I don't think anyone's in my house right now. My dad and his girlfriend went out for dinner. And I thought they'd be back by now, but they're not, which isn't a consequence, really. I just hadn't really thought about it. So Eva, you enjoying? No, I know. You're just probably worried about the state of my voice, because I feel like from the start of stream, you can definitely hear my voice is getting worse. And I'm now out of water. So we'll probably wrap things up in a little bit. But yeah, I wanna do more writing, but writing has always been a little bit of a minefield for me because I get very self-conscious. I'm not a kind of person who needs constant praise for things, but I'm also the kind of person who, like, I won't share what I've written with people unless I on some level either think they will enjoy it or trust them. And then if they don't like it, then I get very upset. 2 stories, and now they're for me, but one day I'll upload them somewhere. Yes. Definitely should. Or you can always, like, hold off on publicly posting them because, who knows, you could get it published. Or you could self-publish, like, actually make money off of it. Which is one of the things that I would love to do if I wrote a book. Obviously that wouldn't be the main motivation. I feel like you should write a book for the joy of writing and wanting to bring like something from your brain to life in a tangible sense. But at the same time, money is great. Money is pretty cool. So yeah, I think it's very, very fun. I love character making. I think it can be really fun to do different characters and have different stuff. Um, which is barely a sentence. You can tell I'm getting tired. Car, you're away my halo. You've been seeking out of heaven. Da, 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 da. Yeah, I just like being a creative little guy. I'm just a little creative little dude. Went them a couple years ago to upload on Wattpad, but I didn't really know what I was doing, so I never published it. That's fair. I know you can publish stuff through Wattpad now because they kind of tried to go book savvy. They did movies. They weren't very good. You can self-publish through Amazon, I believe. Try get on Book Talk and people will guide you through that shit. I'm only on like the outskirts of Book Talk, but I have like a whole thing where I just if I see a book being recommended, I save it. Because even if I never read it, it's fun to have. I also have a fanfiction one now, so I save everything that I find there. Is something make you happy? Yeah, sure. But they have like publishing is like a thing. People always be like it takes a lot of money, but then there's also publishing places, but then you can also self-publish digitally, and then it doesn't really come at cost, I don't think. Or there's probably a cost for having it on whatever site you put it on, but then you make money. I haven't looked into it very deeply, I will be honest, and it's perfectly valid to just post like original works on Wattpad or AO3 because they do have an original work section on AO3, as well as like fan fiction. They have original stuff that you can actually find on there. I don't tend to find as good quality with the original stuff on there, but that being said, I don't tend to look for original works on AO3 because it is primarily a fanfiction site. World lore. Whenever I feel down, I read. Aww, it's so cute. Yeah, doing that was one of those things of like, I like creative processes, and it was really fun building a world and then also thinking about like the characters who would live in it and like what what would be needed and what would happen and all of that kind of stuff. I just got really burnt out of building. I think part of the reason for that was I was also off stream building Mythrill Harbor all by myself. So I just never wanted to do any like building anymore, and I got really tired of it. And then it became a thing that I was just doing for Mythrill. But I do genuinely really, really like building. I've been learning how to use Axiom. If you've seen the person on TikTok who's also on Twitch who's made Shigashima from Attack on Titan in Minecraft, he's now moved on to doing the Castle in the Sky from the Ghibli movie. He uses this mod called Axiom, which is a really, really cool world editor for Minecraft. Like heavy duty mod, but it doesn't really lag you out a lot. I've been doing it on the server run on my PC, and it is so smooth. Gives you a paintbrush in the sky. It can be a little finicky to figure out the ends and bits and bobs of it, but there's a lot of good videos for it that I've seen, and it's also great for city building because you can build a couple stock like houses and then just have them put on the paste and like flip them around and do a bunch of detail stuff, and it's very cool. It takes a bit to learn, but a lot of the cool stuff in Minecraft does. That's one of the reasons I like Minecraft so much, though, is like the people using it for storytelling because it's a sandbox game and you can create worlds and places, and it just is fun and interesting, and like collaborative storytelling when you can't RP because you're scared of RP circles because they can be a bit weird. So you do it in Minecraft instead. Not all RP circles are weird. I've never been in an RP circle. I tried to be in. They used to do RPs on Wattpad where people would be like, "This is the prompt for this," and then you would RP in the comments on that Wattpad post. And I tried to join one for fucking Fire Emblem Fates, and then I just never was there when like the things went out, so I just never did anything. That's my brief experience trying to RP on the internet. Just didn't do anything. Um, is that not built into Java? Copy and pasting stuff? No. What do you mean? Now it's world edit. Yeah. Yeah, it's you have world edit, which like lets you copy and paste buildings and do a bunch of other funny stuff with paintbrushes and things. Axiom is a different mod with a higher level of that because it gives you like select tools and a lot of shortcuts. And it's a lot more versatile than world edit. Using both of them together, I'd say, is like a very good sweet spot because Axiom can be a little bit intimidating, and world edit I feel like it's a lot more command work, whereas Axiom is an interface that you pull up in the game and then you do all the things through that interface, which can be a bit jarring at first, especially when you can't figure out how to turn the interface off, because I'm stupid. Just don't map the keybind to a button on your mouse. Map it to a keybind on your keyboard, and then it'll work fine. But it's very, very cool. I I can't remember the guy's name. I follow him on Twitter. Wait, Minecraft Gaishim Maishia Builder. Where is he? Wait, I'm gonna go on TikTok. Here he is. Oh no, you're just somebody commenting on the fact that he's done that. Well, aren't you a bitch? Show me the actual guy who made it. I want to know now. You know what? Never mind. My dad just got home, so I'm gonna end stream. Yep. He's taking care of the dog. I'm gonna end stream. You guys can look that up, and yeah, I am very tired. I can't be asked right now, and they're gonna start being noisy. So we're gonna cut this here. It's been over 3 hours. Join Discord if you hadn't already. If I feel up to it, maybe we'll do a Monkey Kid watch thing in the Discord at some point. I am currently watching it with a friend, and I want to get through a lot of it with them. But I'd also just give any excuse to watch it. I've seen it like 17 million times. I'll watch it a million times if I have to. I love it so much. But no guarantees. I don't know when the next stream is going to be because I'm not putting pressure on myself anymore to do stuff. But this has been a lot of fun, and hopefully I'll see you guys again soon for just like a little chat time. Little cutesy times. Okay. Bye bye. Oh wait, also join Mythrill because we did Lord of Day. Yeah. Mwah. Bye bye. Wait. I should raid somebody. I forgot that was a thing I could do. Wait, is anyone live? Not really. Not really. Yeah, no, we are just gonna leave. Okay.